Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Nibbling on cheesecake, thinking that wrestling's fake. All of those fans covered with oil. Strumming my 6-string, making puppet jack swing. Smell those dirt sheets, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Diddlerville.
No.
Searching for my lost shaker of salt. I couldn't think of anything to replace that bit.
No.
Some people claim that there's a Ross to blame. But I know
Sorry.
it's Jack's fault.
Right. That was great. Are we going to get caught for that? Is YouTube going to go, nah, too accurate?
Given all those notes I missed, I think I'll be all right. I think I'll protect the copyright. If that was a proper the rapper stage, you wouldn't get past level 1. So, hello, welcome to Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. I typed that up whilst waiting for Jack to come with the thing, so yeah, you're welcome. Go on.
I'd like to explain myself. I was shooting a video. I wasn't just being a lazy boy. Also want to apologise to Richard, who I snapped at, in jest, but who I snapped at before we started recording. And I just don't think anyone needs that at 9 a.m. So, Richard, I'm really sorry. I was frustrated because I don't understand computers. So...
Oh, you know what?
Literally nobody would have known about that if you didn't mention it.
But I need to say it, Need to say it.
That's fantastic.
Mine and Richard's sin relationships, it's dipped a bit. I need to get it back up by telling a joke or whatever.
Grand. Jack, apart from that, how are you?
Apart from that, I'm all good. It's been a busy week, but it's only going to get busier from here on out, so that's okay. But just in terms of like non-work stuff, absolutely sound. How are you?
Oh, can't complain. Got my shirt that I saw on Facebook in the Post Akira one. It's a medium, so right now I look like I have a SoundCloud. That's fine. And yeah, it's a lovely sunny day. I've got 2 good lads with me in spirit, I guess. And I'm about to ask Ross how he's doing, so I'm great.
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Ross, how are you?
Oh, you were going to ask the actual question. Sorry, I've just ruined everything.
Start again.
Go on,
ruined.
do it properly. Go on, sorry. We'll cut it out. We won't cut it out. Just ask exactly. Maffew.
No. Ross, have a rant about the editor first, and then we'll leave it in. Ross, how the hell are you, mate?
To have a rant about the editor, I appreciate Richard very much because Richard does 90% of my videos, so I assume that Richard must hate me because... one take twaddle's a thing of the past. Let's put it that way. But I'm not too bad otherwise. I was only aware of that song that you've just parodied there, Maffew, because it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the only place I've ever heard it. Margaritaville, when he's making his own margaritas at the Broken Skull Ranch. That started off as an Austin impression, then changed to something else.
Yeah, I don't know what that was at the end, but I loved it. Anyway, let's get away from this twiddle twaddle that people don't tune into at all. They come in for the wrestling news section, which is now. The big news this week is Andrade requested his release. Of course, he very rudely decided to do this hours after we did last week's podcast, so no one cares about it now. WWE denied it, of course, and for first time in a long time, he went on Twitter and said, "The rumors are true. I do not know what the future holds, but I want to make my dreams come true. Thank you for giving me so much support these last days." And yeah. Then I've obviously copy-pasted the rest of it, which was in Spanish, which I'm not going to read. And it just seems that they've wiped away anyone even slightly connected with Zelina Vega right off the face of the earth. See our friend Aleister Black, who remains in a dark room somewhere, waiting for someone to knock on his door.
I've seen a few tweets to the tune of, how can you not make Andrade a star? And I agree. How can you not make Andrade a star?
Really
Have you seen that picture where he's walking down the street that he put on social media recently? And he's just dressed in these normal everyday clothes, as we would say up here in in Northumberland. Clothes. Do you say clothes, Maffew? Clothes. This podcast got off to a fantastic start. Northumberland's a weird place. Anyway, that picture, just to add on to Jack's point there, to add to your point, as they say on the kickoff shows every single time, moving up the gears slightly. He just looks like a star, doesn't he? And if I was Andrade, with the way he looks and the way he does the wrestling, I would be a bit frustrated as well. And I think I put a tweet out about Andrade this week, and someone replied that I'm not sure if it's true. I haven't verified it, but within 2 weeks before or after Zelina Vega, the entire situation involving her, Aleister Black and Andrade disappeared off TV. Again, that's not verified by anyone. That could be true, it could be false, but it seems coincidental, coinky-dinkial.
And to your point, in this moment, have you noticed that one as well? In this moment, there's a lot of that going on. I just hope that he goes somewhere. Obviously, everyone's going to say, I hope he goes to AEW. I just hope he goes somewhere where they make him look proper good, because he is.
Like H&M.
Yeah.
But as you're saying there, the stuff they say in the kickoff show, have you started picking up stuff they say in commentary and used it in real life? Because I used both nonetheless and quite frankly this month. And I didn't notice it the first time. The second time I went, oh no. I've been bitten by the WWE commentary bug.
I thought you meant like you walk down the street and you just find yourself going, shut up, Byron.
Someone's walking past, I go, nonetheless.
Vintage.
Wow, you're in a hurry. I'm building momentum.
He's trying to steal one here.
Well, I definitely think that guy's going to win. Oh, he lost. Unrelated, but maybe related, Charlie Caruso has reportedly not been utilised on WWE programming recently due to backstage heat on the interviewer. Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select is reporting that several sources backstage on Raw say Caruso has garnered significant heat after being consistently late for interviews that were meant to be used on the show. The report suggests the specific instances were locker room veterans Randy Orton and Sheamus led to WWE taking Caruso off TV, with Vince McMahon himself becoming aware of the situation and taking exception to Caruso's lateness. So did Charlie say hello to Vega once, or...
Sheamus was once late for an interview with me, so I mean,
Oh.
no, he wasn't that late. It was
Hello,
like a
Vinnie
busy,
Mac.
No, it was like a busy media type day, so I shouldn't compare the two situations.
It must be frustrating, though, if you are like a TV producer and you've got all these deadlines to hit throughout a day when Monday Night Raw is happening and you're held up because somebody's late. So if it's true, shame on her, quite frankly, because you cannot be late in this world. Lads, can we? Eh? Can it be late?
I mean, me and you both were for this.
I know, yeah, we were.
Okay.
I'm just thinking there might be a gimmick backstage because we all know Charlie Caruso is a bit of a poo stirrer on Monday Night Raw. She's a bit of a sassy, you know what. It's a gimmick. She's just being late to set the cat among the pigeons, so to speak.
Is that a gimmick we've imposed on her? Is that a real gimmick, or is that our perception?
There was a period of time on Raw where she would actively try and stir things up backstage.
Right.
She toned it down a bit since becoming the lead anchor of the kickoff show to that point. But there was a period on Monday Night Raw where she was going through all of the gears and playing one gear against the other and other gear-related things,
Yeah. If I was her, I'd said, sorry, I was at the kickoff show of the kickoff show. I don't know, it would go down well. AEW Elevation had its debut episode.
Dark Elevation.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't know it was going to be called Dark Elevation. I'm like, it's just an energy drink now.
It's just dark, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just another dark.
On a different night.
Yeah.
Yet dark, but with Paul White and Tony Schiavone instead of Taz and Excalibur, which is a bit of a hard sell for me because they're two of the reasons to watch AEW Dark. But it meant that you could only watch one of them. My towels are falling down. You could only watch one of them this week due to AEW Dark getting taken down immediately, possibly due to number 10 bleeding through his mouth uncontrollably to end the show.
What's his link to cocaine, by the way?
Huh?
Because I put out a jokey tweet the other day. It was like, we just finalised our WrestleMania schedule. And in a completely unrelated decision, I've taken up cocaine as a hobby. And a few people replied, number 10 will come looking for you. And he liked one of them, so I just don't know what the link is there. It must be a BTE sort of thing.
It must be.
Nothing too scandalous.
I was bleeding through his nose on AEW Dark, and that's why, due to all the damage he's done to his cartilage.
And as it was bleeding, a massive rock of cocaine fell out.
Yeah. I went, oh, that's where I put that. And then he made his comeback.
He doesn't take drugs, just to clarify, everybody. He does not take the drugs. As far as we know, he's a lovely, wholesome boy.
That's right. Him being on AEW Elevation will be a complete coincidence. WrestleMania has been capped at 25K.
Good.
After they last week announced that they would have more than the Super Bowl. I think everyone was like, no, you're not.
That seemed utterly bonkers, didn't it, lads, when they said they wanted 45,000 apparently per night. That just seems too much too soon. So Reduced capacity is the right call. Have you seen
No,
they made them sign a waiver or something, though? The people who's going.
Saying they're not liable if we get
It was
ill.
someone put it in our news chat this morning. Let me get the article up here. Blah, 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 blah.
I like how he's filling the dead air by going.
That's good. See,
No,
the
that's
professional
That's
Ross.
how Matt Hardy changed his gimmicks back in the day, wasn't it?
That's the new talk amongst yourselves.
The headline on e-wrestling news, lads, is read WWE's liability waiver and release for fans attending WrestleMania 37. And it's big and it's long. And to be honest with you, the podcast is long enough, so it's on e-wrestling news if you want to go and look at it. But there's a waiver for fans. Let me talk amongst yourselves. I'll try and find out what it actually is about.
So I imagine it's like I imagine it's like when you go to Lightwater Valley and it says, "Warning, you may get wet."
Yeah, Lightwater Valley, though, while Ross is doing this, I'll just have a little Lightwater Valley discussion with Maffew. That's our local theme park, I suppose. It's water-based. What, you got a favourite ride at Lightwater Valley, Maffew?
It's been so long since I went. All I remember last time I went was the queues. So I'm eager to go to a theme park,
Yeah.
place with roller coasters, once everything opens up. I've not really been involved in them now, but as a kid, I had such an active imagination. I look at roller coasters and go, no, that's definitely going to fly off and I'm going to die. Now I know as an adult that's not going to happen. I'm like, oh, now I want to go on one.
I didn't go on an upside downy one until I was about 16. I was terrified of upside down ones. Then I went in the deep end. Bloody Nemesis at Alton Towers. Loved it. I thought, well, I've missed out, haven't I? I've been missing out on all this fun.
I wouldn't dare go on a roller coaster, me. Absolutely terrified of them, me. Not worth the risk, is it, lads? Eh? See that last losing a leg at whatever theme park it was, and I'm just thinking, yeah, you've taken an unnecessary risk there.
Fair
going
enough.
on a roller coaster.
When you're young, you never expect that sort of thing is possible for you.
I got tricked into going on one at Disneyland Paris when I went to the Euros back in 2016. It was the one that's the rock and roll flavoured one where you go inside of a little building and it's 100 miles an hour straight away and upside downs and all that kinds of stuff. And I was holding on so tight I ripped my bicep.
Oh!
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was actually ripped. No bruising appeared or anything, but when you get that feeling that it just feels like it's ripped. You've been gripped on too tight. You ever had that before?
You might have pulled it or something.
Yeah, it might have pulled or strained. I don't know. Yeah.
I've never been that terrified in a roller coaster.
It didn't come off the bone, I should say, but it felt, the definite sensation of it ripping was there. I found the bit, by the way, and I quote, "I have voluntarily agreed to attend the event. I understand and expressly acknowledge that attendance is potentially dangerous due to, among other things, risk of spreading or acquiring COVID-19 or similar infectious disease and other unanticipated and unexpected dangers may arise from my attendance at the event. I hereby assume all risk of loss, blah, 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 blah." So
that must be an insurance thing, but all risks, not just COVID. Like, the fiend may cause me to vomit black blood. I may grip my bicep so hard it tears. Bloody hell. I'm excited for WrestleMania now. They're going to blow up the fans.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway. John Lister on Twitter reviewed the WWE on Peacock experience for the Americans. So, because we don't know, we still got the normal WWE network. So here's a few tweets he said about it. Looking at the navigation set up for WWE on Peacock, there is no way that... I'm just saying that was typed. There's no way that can work / cope with the full archive. It's barely usable with whatever small percentage they have now, and it's simply going to collapse if they try to add everything.
No.
The only non-curated navigation appears to be a single A to Z list of every show. Some pay-per-views are listed just under their name, some with WWE or WCW or ECW at the start. Some pay-per-views are treated as a TV show. It says, example, WrestleMania has 36 seasons, each with one episode.
That's very accurate. Actually.
Yeah. You have to do the maths to figure out that, i.e. King of the Ring 99 is season 7. The show with a thumbnail logo, Best of WWE, is alphabetized under T for the best of WWE. Oh, as a former librarian, that one stings. NXT is under W for WWE NXT. And there's already 55 shows to scroll through. Looking for SmackDown? Simply go to the main WWE tab, scroll all the way down to the A to Z rail, scroll all the way to the right, past the highlighted section to the view all, then scroll down until you find it listed between Extreme Rules and Invasion. Long story short, it looks awful at launch, which would probably have been expected, but the problem is it's got fundamental flaws that mean it will get worse and worse the more they upload the archive.
We've got all this to look forward to, presumably, lads. Presumably they're going to look for something similar in the UK.
We'll
Get
be
on BBC iPlayer or something.
Yeah.
Brit
TV.
Yeah. To be fair, I like that reviewer. He's funny. Who is that?
I was John Lister.
Oh, very funny there, John. Well done.
Yeah, no, I like him. So I find out he hates me and I look like a right idiot.
Yeah.
And Eric Bischoff announced for the Hall of Fame.
You
Got
cried?
emotional, didn't he?
He did.
I think that might be the only time I've seen the Bischoff exterior crack.
Yeah. He's getting emotional trying to figure out how he's gonna, if he's gonna treat it like a Conrad podcast, he's gonna spend 45 minutes building up to saying how thankful he is the Hall of Fame, whilst making sure to mention that he takes Blue Chew and has sex with his wife a lot. So, good for
he
Easy.
deserves it, doesn't he? He deserves it, probably. I'm surprised in a way, because I'm surprised Vince has gone, my greatest foe, get in the Hall of Fame, go on.
Oh, they let go of that in 2002, I reckon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh, everything's good now. I'm making money off you. Cheers. Thanks for the hard work of beating me every week.
Who's going to induct?
I'll put you in the bin, Eric.
Yeah.
Who's going to induct Eric? Goldberg?
Got to be DDP on it.
He's AEW now.
Oh, of course, his good friend DDP.
Wait, what?
Well, that was the thing that they were neighbours.
Oh.
So the issue was that a lot of people resented DDP because, you're Eric's mate.
Right.
There was the issue was like, no, he's actually getting over by himself. You need to actually push him. Yeah.
That's it, though. That's it.
Yeah. But don't let that, congratulations on Eric, but don't let that overshadow the fact that I had 2 entries in OSW Review's Quote of the Year Fan Awards.
Oh, did you?
And I only did 1 video for them in that period, so I think I'm the most consistent. I actually had 3, if you count the one about OOC saying, I like Maffew, but we don't need him on every show.
Can't count that one. Can't count that one.
The fans voted that higher than anything else I said.
God, these lads are brutal sometimes, aren't they?
They are. They're definitely my favourite racist Irishmen. Not in the mailbag, but a man
They're not
called...
racist. OSW Review are not racist.
Yeah. Not in the mailbag, but a man called Ben Cox has created a playlist of all the songs nominated for Hall of Fame. If anyone wants to reference it, go on to Spotify.
I'm just going to give a bit of a peek behind the curtain. Ross was saying that the Reese's Pieces that were submitted this week are ones that we've kind of already done before. So we may have to do something creative with Reese's Pieces this week. And one of my suggestions was this. Who was it? Sorry, what was the name?
Ben Cox.
Ben has made a Spotify playlist of every song that we've ever nominated for the Hall of Fame, which is awesome. I'm wondering, do we mix up those songs somehow and then pick between them for the Reese's Pieces or something? I don't know.
Wow, we're building anticipation for the upcoming segment. As if we're
Eric
going to go to an
Bischoff.
advert break. All that and more to come right after these words.
We're literally doing a kickoff show like Charlie Caruso does.
Well, switching gears for a moment, Ross. Switching gears all the way to Parked. New dogs this week. Got James Fletcher for his dog Oscar. It's just that one there with the hat in the bottom right-hand corner. And also Prince Philip, who saw on the front cover of the Metro and thought I'll put my wall because it's hilarious. It reminds me of the sweet embrace
Because he
of
looks
death.
like a dog.
Yes, he's someone's dog.
Dog
rough. He's looking rough, that's it. And also remind me that I defeated Resident Evil 1 the first time on stream on Saturday. And thanks to everyone who checked that out on Twitch, which Cultaholic is a big fan of. I'll be doing Silent Hill from Saturday onwards. So
Silent
more
Hill
Prince
1.
Philip to come.
Silent Hill 1.
That's right, the first one.
Is
Never
2
played
the
it.
one with? Is 2 the one with Mr. Sunderland? Because I think the protagonist of one of the Silent Hills is called, I think, James or someone. James Sunderland. He just loves the lads. Oh, well, he's called Sunderland, but in American it's probably like Sunderland or something like that. Yeah.
I think his name was Peter Reed or something.
I thought you were going to say
Peter Reed's
Ravy
walking
Davy. Oh, the bell's gone. Give us a second.
the bell's gone, but that is the end of this segment anyway. So now it seems a good time to move on.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. In condescending order from last week, Friday. The concept in the day, I guess, 20%.
Oh,
I think they would have won if it hadn't been for the other 2, which were Jim Ross fighting through the turmoil of a sore throat to commentate all 3 hours, 40 minutes of AEW Revolution 2021, 21%. But by a landslide, The explosion. There you go. At the end of AEW Revolution, 59%. I mean, it had to be, didn't it? Seems weird how quickly news just goes away. But last week, that's all we were laughing and talking about.
I wrote 1,000 words on it, man.
You did?
Irrelevant. No.
It's like Baldrick's poem. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Do you know something that, before we get to the Hall of Fame, something that kind of grinds my gears a little bit, right? I've noticed it's a new type of Twitter interaction that I hate. It's a brand new one. Whenever I've shared this weekly feature that I do, there's a strange thing inside people, a lot of people anyway, that compels them to respond to the title of the feature in a tweet. So I'll say like, can AEW bounce back from this embarrassing explosion? And then there's 1,000 words of analysis in there, but something makes people want to just go, no lol, or yeah, of course they can, it's AEW. And I'm just like, read the article. One guy had to go at me for daring to even bring it up. He was like, if you were a real AEW fan, you'd ignore it and everything would go away. I was like, get in the bin.
You're not an AEW fan though, Jack. You're a wrestling reporter. A wrestling reporter, a journalist.
I'm a fan
People
of
call us
wrestling.
journalists, damn
Go on,
it.
say it. Say it. What is he, Ross?
A journalist.
Journalist.
Silly black.
Yes.
That made me. I just remember that wrestling media con we did, and we're on stage, and someone asked a question about journalists. I was just sat there going, I went to uni and did journalism. What we do is not journalism and just quashed his dreams.
This poor kid.
I know.
No, you answered it better than that.
I think I was pretty blunt though. I was very nervous on that stage, I tell you. But I do think about it often. So the look on his face was, eats me alive. So it does some days.
Maybe he's listening. Maybe this will give him a bit of reassurance.
No, I bet after that he had all the CV notes and stuff. He got ready and just put them in the bin on the way out. Now he's a fireman.
Well, he's doing better. Hey, tell you, no money in the journalism game.
Yeah, well, they bought these photos. My Hall of Fame pick this week. It's been a weird week because wrestling's happening, but it's not happening, and I try to think of something slightly different, but slightly interesting. I want to see if anyone else is interested by this, or I'll tell you because it's a local thing to myself. George Reynolds became the chairman of Darlington Football Club in 1999, and he built the team a new stadium, costing £20 million, which he named after himself. And why wouldn't you? Reynolds was originally very popular with the Darlow fans, but then he took the club into administration and left the club in January 2004, just months after the brand new 25,000 seat stadium, one of the largest stadiums outside the Premier League, was opened. George famously declared his ambition to take Darlington into the Premier League, and when he took the club over, they had been in the Football League's basement division since '92. Surprisingly, the new stadium did nothing to improve their on-field fortune, because it turns out you can't just build a giant stadium and expect that's it, we're going to play better. And they did not move out of the basement division of the Football League until 2010, when they were relegated to the conference. The club was later relegated four divisions to the Northern Football League Division 1, and then forced to form as a new club, Darlow 83, owned by the fans. With a seating capacity of 25,000, the arena rarely attracted large crowds, with the usual attendance being around 2,000. The cost of the arena caused the club to go into administration 3 times, and also attendances for football matches were restricted to 10,000 by local planning regulations because of poor access roads around the stadium. Because it turns out you can't just build a giant F-off stadium in the middle of nowhere and have that's all right to have this people in. Goes, no, where are they going to park? The highest confirmed attendances were AHA for 5,000 and Elton John at 17,000. So not even Sir Elton could sell out Darlington Stadium. My Hall of Fame pick, because this is one of these things where, similar to Hangus the Monkey, which went on so well, it came second in the Patreon picks. But the fact that Darlington has a giant stadium and not many people to fill it in reminds me not only of the current COVID era for wrestling fans and an insight of what WrestleMania will look like, but also happy memories of attending 5-Star.
I tell you what, flicking on ITV Tyne Tees in my ute with Mike Neville and people like that, and what's her face? Palm Royal, was it? Palm Royal. They will always speak about that stadium, and there was always that one shot where there was where somewhere hasn't been tended to for a while, and green bits shoot up through the pavement. Always that in the foreground. Poor stadium. And you're right, this was our Rosie and Jim. It's let's see what's happening with Darlington Stadium today. It's still nobody in it. Great, fantastic.
So is this because I missed the Hartlepool podcast episode.
Oh, did you?
So is it now your thing to do like County Durham football teams?
Well, no. If this doesn't win, then I'm sodded off.
Is Darlington County Durham, or is it North Yorkshire? County Durham must be County Durham.
I always thought it was that, but then one day someone said it's not. Oh, what? I went, I know that... it's right there, isn't it? They went, no, but if you... Oh, hang on, I've sent loads of letters to my grandma, and she lives there, and I've always put County Durham, like Darlow, County Durham. And he says, oh yeah, like, they've got a relaxed rule system.
Oh,
it's like AEW's tag team division. There's relaxed rules with the post. So if you put that down, we'll get sent.
Middlesbrough's in North Yorkshire. Wow.
Middlesbrough's Teesside, isn't it? That's the county.
Well, Teesside's the region, but it's technically in North Yorkshire. But Darlington's in County Durham.
See, I've also said, but I've been told it's not. And this is to make it even more local and boring to people who don't care about these type of things, where exactly it is. But anyway, the point is, some guy's like, I love Darlow and me, builds a giant stadium, no one to fill it in, and goes in administration, and now he lives in Chesterley Street.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh. It's a good...
If you want to go say hello.
It's a good pick, but I just worry that American sports fans are going to take one listen to this story and go, you don't know anything about like building a huge stadium and then leaving the city in ruin.
Yeah, the Raiders were going to get that, and that's why
so many. Me and you went, right? In Vegas. The Raiders hadn't yet even moved from Oakland to Las Vegas. And we went to get A4 paper for our live show. It was exciting. So me and Maffew went on like a side quest. And it wasn't even a shop. It was like a Raiders village. And the team hadn't even arrived yet. And there was Raiders badges everywhere. And it was just insane. It was so weird. But we just went to the stationery shop.
We did. We should have bought some.
Yeah, we should have bought some Raiders.
Even if you don't care about football, which I don't care about NFL, but it is a cool looking logo.
It is a cool logo. I'm a fan of the Baltimore Ravens, but the Raiders are a cool-looking team.
You know what? That's a really crap pick, isn't it?
No.
The thing I've just said.
No,
because a much better one is the fact that the lad from Bishop Auckland won at the bloody UFC the other week. Why have I not put that in instead?
Oh, someone from your town's really hard.
Yeah, right. I'm speechless.
No, I'm not joking.
I thought you were being... No, you know what? That was yeah. No, I'll save that in case he wins again. But yeah, shout out to Davey Grant from Bish, who won at the UFC.
Get in, Davey.
That's how they say it. But until then, no, I'll say that. George Reynolds and the magnificent Darlington Stadium.
It's in with a shout.
I'll be lucky if I get 1%. But Jack, hopefully you can do us one better.
So I've noticed, right, and I don't know what this is about, but I've been a bit of a Formula One fan on and off for quite a few years. And I've noticed that a lot of wrestling fans are now getting into it, which is cool. What's this about, Maffew? Why is this a thing? I'm not against it. I'm just wondering why it's a thing.
Well, I've always been slightly interested in F1 because whenever I went to my nana's, she'd have it on. So like, oh, okay, cars going around, Damon Hill, Schumacher, all the rest.
Hakkinen, Fisichella.
Mika Hakkinen, exactly.
All the lads. Barrichello.
I love that name, to be honest with you.
They've got cool names.
Yeah. And... of course, shouts last week, Murray Walker passing away.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah, and even like people like myself watching would know Murray Walker and his voice and all the daft things he would say and all that stuff. So I'm into F1. I'm getting into F1. I'm ready for the new season. So I'm interested to see where this is going, Jack. Ross, are you into F1?
Interestingly, and this is a bit weird to say, but if my dad didn't pass away when I was 4, I think I wouldn't be sat here today. F1 would have been my sport because F1 was his... sport. He would drive my mum down to Silverstone, and when he was younger, he was on a racing team with that David Coulthard, I think. He raced.
Really?
I raced on the go-karts when they were young. So
bloody hell.
My life would have been very different, I think, if my dad didn't die.
Wow, fair enough.
Aye. But no, to answer your question, no, not really.
Okay.
So a lot of wrestling fans seem to be... I mean, Maffew didn't answer my question at all, but a lot of wrestling fans seem to be moving over to F1. And... so because of that, I've now got more excited for the new F1 season as well, because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about it. Matthew's recommended some YouTubers who talk about F1. And basically, I want to nominate my new man crush from the F1 lineup. Because have you watched any Drive to Survive, the Netflix documentary?
No.
Okay, it's an F1 documentary. It's not the most faithful look at the sport, but it's very dramatic and a lot of cool things happen in it. But there's just one driver who's just such a cheeky lad, and I just think he's bloody lovely. He's called Charles Leclerc. Ooh. Maffew's now going to search him and be like, well, he's just a twink, Jack, come on.
Not wrong with a twink.
There's nothing wrong with a twink. Have you searched Charles Leclerc?
Yeah, there he is. He drives for
Ferrari.
the Reds.
Aye, Liverpool.
Oh my God. Last night on Twitter, Man United obviously were playing Milan in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Lex Luger. What did he tweet? He tweeted, it made me die inside a little bit. Because you know when Americans pretend to like football, but they don't really have a clue what's going on?
Yeah.
I like Drew McIntyre.
He was on TalkSport the other morning. I saw him share it on Twitter, and he put his Scottish accent back on because he was speaking to Ali McCoist on the phone. His Scottish accent. I can't even speak this morning. Where is it? Hello, Lex Luger. Where have you gone? There it is. So Man United have tweeted, it's match day in Milan. Here we go. This, that, and the other. Lex Luger has quote tweeted that with "Let's go Big Red."
Yes. Let's go, Big Red. Come on. Woo.
I don't like Man United in the slightest, but let's go Big Red. Come on, Lex. Come on.
Let's go.
Well, we've
Big
all
Red.
seen the clip of Shawn Michaels in the 90s going,
Blackburn
I'm a big
Rovers.
fan of whichever team it was.
Blackburn.
Was it Blackburn? Come on, Sean. Yeah. Well, win however you got to do. You know, he's there wiping his nose constantly going, do whatever you got to do when the referee's not looking.
Oh, it just made me dive in. Oh, Big Red. Yeah. Isn't that the nickname of that college that Thingy goes to in the office? The American one. I'm speaking amongst myself. You don't watch the American one, do you, lads? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's been a while. Big Red.
Like Alabama or one of them, probably.
Thunderbird 3.
I've gone blank here completely.
Go on.
Anyway,
So, Jack, the F1.
Charles Leclerc, and that documentary on a whole is pretty good, but Charles Leclerc, I wish him well in the new season, but I don't think he's going to do that well. I've put 50 pence on Daniel Ricciardo to win the Drivers' Championship because the odds were astronomical, so 50 pence might net me a cool £50, but I mean, it's probably going to be Hamilton again or Verstappen. But Charles Leclerc, the new Red King of my cold, tired heart.
That was a beautiful mix of metaphors at the end there, Jack.
Yeah.
You really sold that to me. Any particular reason why you picked Charles Leclerc?
Yeah, he's really pretty, isn't he? Just a little handsome
Oh, it's just
boy.
the look. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Oh, genuinely, like, no, he also seems quite fun and quite cheeky as well. There's a bit where this wasn't on the Netflix thing, but there's a clip of him when the season was off. A lot of them started doing like the Formula One game online on Twitch, so the actual drivers would be playing with a steering wheel and obviously doing really well. And Leclerc at one point is in his flat, and then he goes, "My girlfriend's just subscribed to my Twitch." And then she messages saying, "Can you let me in? The door is locked." And she knew that the only way she could get his attention was by subscribing to his Twitch rather than texting him.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You haven't picked him. I'm looking back and forth at you and the Google Images thing for him. You haven't just picked him because if he wore The Rock beanie hat and maybe a kayfabe shirt,
That's
he could
a
be here.
massive compliment. That he's a better looking lad than me, but I'll take it all day long. Thank you, Maffew.
Have you just labelled Jack a twink, Maffew? By
He's
saying
done that publicly in Rise before, definitely.
Oh.
He's called me a twink on this very podcast.
I thought he yelled, really loud so I could be heard of My Way by Limp Bizkit. You know what? If we combine our little Rise jokes, someone comes up and goes, "Why you call Ross a twink?" to interrupt the Margaritaville chorus at Rise. I'll be happy with that. But Ross, you're a Ross Twinkell, they call you. What is your pick this week?
I am the furthest thing from a twink. Just answer the thing. It's Cornell. That's where Andy Bernard, the Nard dog, goes to college in the office. But I was on Twitter this week, and my Hall of Fame pick comes from that. I just want everyone on Twitter just to type into the out search bar, Michael Winslow, W-I-N, slow. And he was in a film that I've completely forgotten. Was it Police Academy or something like that? But he was on Norwegian. Right. He was on Norwegian TV recently. I don't know if it was recently, but the clip was on Twitter this week, and he, with his mouth, sang "Whole Lot of Love" by Led Zeppelin. But he does a bit of a beat. What's the word I'm looking for? beatboxing. That's the one.
I think.
Beatboxing. Does that to kick off with. Then he does the old electric guitar, the wow, wow, all that stuff. And it's absolutely amazing to sit through and listen to. So Michael Winslow's rendition of Led Zeppelin's Whole Lot of Love on Norwegian TV is my pick for the Hall of Fame. Get yourself on Twitter and search for it.
Is it actually good, or is it bad it's good?
Oh, no, it's
actually
good. Yeah. It's not like Elton John singing these days.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm still damn, baby. You got on, Maffew?
Yeah, I'm just watching it. Sorry, it's because it's great because Michael Winslow is the name I've not heard since Police Academy, and I'm also thinking about the people who watch this. They're probably hoping that was something more exciting and current, like Police Academy. But yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like the people who are going to find out and probably watch Police Academy and see him do his crazy voices.
I have never seen Police Academy.
Don't worry about it.
Lads,
Come on, Joe.
The Hall of Fame segment this week is Darlington Stadium, an F1 driver that most wrestling fans have never heard of, and this thing that Ross has not. You're in for a treat, everybody. This week.
Don't talk so soon, because I was just like while you were speaking there, looking for a comment I saw on last week's podcast, and it's from Joel L-S. The comment was left 6 days ago as we're sat here. He put, I skip the Hall of Fame every week. What SHITE? 2 likes. Then he replies to his own comment going, nah, I tried it this week and it banged, to be fair. Pringle's commentary killed me. So there you go.
Now he's gonna be like, why did I come back?
Never doubt your convictions.
A 1 week streak we had. Well, that was the Hall of Fame in all its glory.
It's a bad week.
Michael Winslow trending on Twitter. It'll be forgotten by the time next week comes out. Be like, Michael Winslow, what was he doing? Twink Racer, Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc.
Oh, Charles Leclerc. Oh, Christ, sorry. And Darlington Stadium. And the George Reynolds saga, which is going to make a great Netflix series one day. But until then, it'll hopefully just make a decent Hall of Fame pick, which you can nominate. No, really, you can. Don't fast forward. By going to patreon.com/Cultaholic.
There's another comment here from 18934. Stop making these so long. People have lives. Put it on 1.5 speed, man. Your life will change.
Who you kidding? No, we don't. Anyway, Hall of Fame.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This Week in Wrestling.
Wrestling podcast, isn't it? Yeah.
Wrestling.
Journalism. Actual wrestling.
Changing gears. SmackDown. Edge opens the show and he's trying to work out whether he'll face Roman or Bryan at WrestleMania. Bryan comes out and they argue about Bryan getting himself into the title picture. Edge respects Bryan but doesn't respect the way he's gone about things.
I like the shades of grey here, lads. Because Daniel Bryan, all of a sudden, it's a bit weird how quickly he's realised that this might be his last WrestleMania, but he's realised it at the very last second. So he started being a dick to get himself in the title picture because it'll be his last one. So shades of grey and all that.
Being a bit of an opportunist, you could say.
Yeah, you could say ultimate opportunist. But I like because obviously in WWE especially, by and large, babyfaces have to be both noble and stupid. But here Daniel Bryan is being cunning and sly while also being nice as well. It's nice. It's a nice change.
He does have a point with Bryan, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's not going, I don't like you because I'm bad. It's like, nah, you did kind of just come in at the very end there.
As I think both...
Like the Americans in World War II.
As I think both Ross and Andrew have said in the past few days, I'm more excited to... I'm supporting Daniel Bryan in this 3-way feud. Like, he's the one I want to win. Yeah. Not even Edge, which is a shame.
You'd assume that as we're sat here on Friday morning, Jey Uso will win tonight and then something will happen on Sunday that gets Daniel Bryan added to make it a triple threat. Surely.
No, Edge can't be losing to Jey Uso.
Of course he can.
Yeah, he can.
Maybe by DQ, like, yeah.
Get him tilt.
Get a table. Smack him on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm happy they're doing this with Bryan because I'm really like, yay, Edge is going. I'm like, nah. I want you guys coming in and stealing all the slots. Yeah. And then Bryan's like, no, hang on. I'm a nice guy, but I'm not an idiot. I'm like, yeah, Bryan, get him. So now I'm invested in this.
It's not even because of that with me. It's just that Daniel Bryan's been more interesting than Edge has. Yeah. Just the way that Daniel Bryan was. I guess was that this week's episode where they had the contract signed at the end?
Yeah, at the end, we end the show with the contract signing. Roman refuses to sign because he doesn't feel like Bryan deserves the title shot. Bryan provokes Roman by pointing out that he made Jey Uso tap out, which Roman couldn't do. Roman angrily signs the contract. And Jay is furious with Bryan. He wants to be the special enforcer for the Fastlane match, but Edge interrupts and also wants to be. They'll have a match next week to decide who it'll be. Everybody brawls, and Bryan is shoved by Edge. So he hits him with the running knee.
It's just the way Daniel Bryan was sat there, just chirping away at Roman Reigns, and then he made Reigns crack. The bell's gone again.
Oh, my word.
Hell.
Just to Ross's point there, switching gears slightly, it's just the way that Bryan was sat there chirping to Roman Reigns and just, not being a traditional babyface, Maffew, but kind of being a bit ruthless. Back to you, Ross.
Got the electric meter to read, so you might be coming upstairs, and I don't know where the electric meter is.
Get him on the show.
The self-consciousness now. Oh, no.
Who's his favourite wrestler?
Yeah, get him on. Oh, please get him on. Oh, please, God. Please, God, get him on.
Please.
Please get him on. Please get him on. He's not getting him on. He's bottling.
I don't know who will. Someone next door at the Cultaholic office might do. Right. Yeah, maybe someone next door. I don't have one, unfortunately. Yeah, Unit 5, just next door, the Cultaholic office. He needs Adam, and Adam is not in. Adam's got all the keys, hasn't he?
No.
He needs a key. He needs a key to get in the cupboard just there. Our electricity meter will not be read today.
Oh, no. What does this mean for the podcast?
Electricity might just go boom, cut off straight away.
But it's a sunny day, so it'll marginally change.
If we remember, at the very end of the podcast, we'll go, well, hopefully you got enough money for that. Let's cut to black like The Sopranos. Anyway, where were we?
I don't know.
Fastlane contract.
Ross, you were saying that Bryan was chirping away.
Yeah, him chirping away at Roman Reigns was more entertaining and did more for the story than anything Edge has done so far, I think. So that's why I'm more interested. Not necessarily just because it's an old lad coming back. Because obviously Edge is coming back and making up for lost time, Maffew. I'm sticking on that
Exactly.
that point to your point, which is a different point. Our points are colliding.
Lots of points. Like a pentagram. So, you're right, though. Daniel Bryan's like, I need to win. I need to prove I'm better than you. You only beat me with that BS coming after the match is finished, and I'm Daniel Bryan. And Edge is like, on this day, I see clearly. Like, yeah. The Street Profits and the Mysterios beat Otis, Gable, Ziggler, and Rude. Ford gets a pinfall on Rude, which could be important for the tag titles going forward.
I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to sum it up, okay?
Thank you for WWE.com for these write-ups. Rollins is interviewed and says that Cesaro is the biggest waste of potential in WWE history. He then comes out to watch Cesaro versus Murphy and ends the match by attacking Cesaro. He stomps him twice and looks to Pillmanize his neck with a chair, but referees stop him. He heads to the back and Nakamura stares him down as he leaves.
It's weird, isn't it, when they reference their own booking mistakes as if it's the wrestler's fault. It always annoys me when they do that.
Baron Corbin, you're the reason Raw is failing.
Cesaro, you're an incredible wrestler and you look amazing, but you've not wanted it enough, have you, mate? You've not wanted it enough. It's,
That must be a really awkward situation for any wrestler, because obviously we hear the stories of, Shawn Michaels in the 90s being an arsehole and stuff like that. But you think of Cesaro just must be a pleasant guy, and things aren't quite happening for him. So is he supposed to go, hey, Vince McMahon, I'll stop being an arsehole now and threaten getting the sack?
I think it's all just a construct, isn't it? The whole thing about, well, you've got to take a risk and you've got to you got to live on the edge and grab the opportunity. Well, it's only going to work if they like you. If Zack Ryder does it, then he's getting thrown off the stage in a wheelchair. It's bollocks. A bit of a rant there, sorry.
It's good that, you need to take a risk, like, I don't know, buying a ticket to WrestleMania, signing a waiver.
Got to take a risk, like, sorry, this isn't a joke like yours, but I liked it. But if you're 7 foot, that's grabbing the brand. That's much more of an advantage, isn't it? It's a shame.
Would you go to WrestleMania, by the way?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Great.
Because we're not journalists.
Not because of COVID, because the card's crap. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't go because of COVID.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler take Reginald shopping. He tries on various outfits. Okay, I think I said this last. Oh no, wait, there's even more. Later, Kevin Owens brings out Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair as guests on the KO show. I forgot how many shows they had on the...
They're more important than championships in WWE.
Yeah.
He asked them about possibly facing each other at Mania as tag team champions. This brings out Nia, Shayna and Reginald. Sasha and Bianca have a match against Natalya and Tamina, which they lose after distraction from Reginald. Backstage, Reginald suggests that Nia gets a title shot against Banks. It's later confirmed. This is now the Reginald division.
Yes, true.
It's a shame. A guy so talented is getting hampered by booking where he's getting shoved down all of our throats all of the time. Apart from this week's Raw, so maybe they've thought to themselves after SmackDown, that's a bit too much Reggie for one show. Let's take him off Raw for 1 week. But that segment where they're in the shop and he buys a suit that he already wore at TLC 2020. Why was it a thing? Why was that a thing?
Vince probably thought it was funny when someone pitched it. I don't know.
It just wasn't, was it?
No, it wasn't. Some people liked it on Twitter. I won't name any names, but shame on them.
I appreciate them going outside the box. I appreciate them doing I appreciate them doing something different, like, because that's what I want, is more like outside the box stuff. Like, it's not like a backstage promo and then, you know, how everything's sort of shot in debris. So I like the fact they went on location for a shoot. But what they shot was utterly pointless, I thought.
Yeah, I don't understand either. And it annoys me the most because Sasha and Bayley could be such a great feud. I'm sure the match is still going to be good as long as Reginald doesn't get involved in the match. I hope he's long gone from that storyline in a few weeks' time, but I'm a bit worried.
Get decapitated on Sunday, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah. I skipped all that because I'm sick of seeing him, and also because they went shopping for clothes. Now, I can't do that in real life, so I don't want to see these people do it on TV. An angry Big E is here.
Hang on, we need to skip over the fact that Tamina pinned Bianca Belair.
Why?
Wow.
Did that happen?
Oh,
Yeah.
the distraction from Reginald, and then in swoops Tamina, pins not only the Royal Rumble winner of 2021, but of course the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title. So Tamina basically just booked herself a spot in the SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania.
I'm worried that if Bianca loses to Sasha, it's not going to be as bad as Shayna losing to Becky Lynch. But it's still probably the better thing for Bianca to win. Mm-hmm. And I'm worried that we're now falling into a weird trend of Vince booking someone to, you know, succeed on the road to WrestleMania, then getting bored of them by the time he gets there, like Nakamura and Shayna.
Do you hear Shayna Baszler on Renee Young's oral sessions this week? First of all, she introduced me to the concept of a pint of Guinness with a shot of whiskey dropped in it, which I can... Oh, could you imagine that? Anyway, she was also speaking about Vince McMahon and how Vince McMahon, when she first got to Raw, wanted her to be like different as she is and never ever wrestle. I think he told her initially, never ever do a wrestling move, just do kicks and punches and UFC strikes and all that stuff. And then she went out there and did that, exactly what he asked for, with the match, I think it was with Natalia, I think she said. And then she got backstage and he hated it and he made them go straight back out there, because this is when they were pre-recording the shows, and made them do just a normal wrestling match, which Natty called in the ring.
And he loved it, and he was like, yeah, much better, yeah.
You hear these stories of Vince McMahon, and you can't believe it, can you? And then Shayna comes out and says something like that, and it's just, I can't,
well,
what do you even say?
Triple H wasn't at the last NXT tapings. He's sick of it. He's jumping to AEW. Confirmed from me. I texted him.
A journalist.
Yeah, journalist. Our
That's
sources...
that's not true before anybody... That's not obviously.
Oh, it's too late now. It's on the Twitter. Even though this podcast is now, yeah, it's already on there. How's that work? But yeah, you're right. People getting bored on the road to WrestleMania and leaving some wrestlers and talent stranded on the Little Chef on the side of the road to WrestleMania.
Miss Little Chef.
Aye. But talking about the Big Chef, Big E is here after being attacked by Apollo Crews last week. He calls out Crews, who doesn't show up. So instead, he issues an open challenge for the IC title. Corbin is about to accept, but Zayn shows up and accepts instead. Big E wins, but Crews comes out under the ring and attacks him with the ring steps. But more importantly was Big E's wonderful moment on the mic, where he says he's going to get Old Testament on Apollo Crews, which I liked.
Yeah, he got serious, didn't he? I hate when people say that about Big E. He needs to get serious. Booker T was saying that he needs to get serious to make it to the next level. Booker T won his world title while dressed like a king.
And what a king he was.
I know, he was a fantastic king, but it just makes no sense. Big E's just fantastic, isn't he?
I mean, I actually agree to it to a certain extent, because Big E has spent so many years doing the New Day stuff, and now he's by himself. He's got to do something to be like, it's not just Big E of New Day, it's Big E of Big E. And this promo helped.
Kofi won being silly New Day, man.
Yeah, but it was a lot more but he wasn't
True.
doing burr, burr, burr.
But when that bell rings, Maffew, when that bell sounds, something switches inside of Big E. The fun-loving Big E leaves him, and an arse-kicking machine comes out.
Yeah, it's very
We'll
true.
see.
I just
Fastlane this Sunday.
I do enjoy Corbin going, I'm not dressed to fight while wearing a suit, which he fought in for so many years. When he was a Weatherspoon's barman. Remember those days? How weird is that? Aye. That thing with that knobhead who runs it.
Speaking of knobheads, Monday Night Raw. The show opens with confirmation that Drew will face Lashley for the WWE title at WrestleMania. This is weird because Fastlane is this Sunday. Just saying. Lashley and MVP come out but are interrupted by Miz and Morrison. Miz is clearly trying to get Lashley to agree to a Mania title match, but Drew interrupts, even though it's just been whatever. He's dismissive of Miz, but Lashley cheap shots Drew and beats him down. He leaves but is attacked by Sheamus as he does so. Sheamus explains that he wants Drew 100% of Fastlane and doesn't want him to have any excuses. Drew then has a match with The Miz, beating him with a Hurt Lock. Ooh, says he.
Because it's Lashley's move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I see, yes, yeah. Yeah, this was a long way of explaining what happened, but it's Raw, isn't it? It's going to be like, I'm going to say something. No, wait, here's my music. And oh, wait, someone else's music.
Fastlane just makes a mess of everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're building towards WrestleMania while building towards something that's before WrestleMania. So people like Sheamus are just caught in the crossfire, so to speak, in no man's land.
Yeah.
And
WWE presents Toll Booth.
No.
Nia and Shayna are on commentary for Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Lana and Naomi. Midway through, Asuka's music hits and she takes out Baszler. Dana gets the win for her team. And then later on, Asuka faces Shayna in a singles match. And they do the bloody finish where Shayna has her move on and then Asuka rolls her up and gets pinned. You would have thought by now, the 6 or 7 times it's happened on TV, Shayna would stop doing that. They keep brawling after the match though. Asuka was super aggressive, looking to slam Shayna's face into the exposed turnbuckle, but the referee stops her. Yeah. Hey, Asuka's good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm glad they've remembered.
Right.
In the nick of time.
It only took losing a tooth to get there. Once again.
Ross is still, and I agree with him to be fair. I said, Ross, could maybe Charlotte lose to Asuka? And he laughed at me.
That's it. We're building Asuka back up just to lose to Charlotte, aren't we? It's what it looks like is going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though Charlotte wasn't on this week's Raw, which was a shock to me, because when was the last time that happened? Like since when she's been an active roster member and not on some sort of hiatus. But
isn't she shooting something?
Yeah, what was it that TV show that another wrestler did back in 2004?
Yeah,
or something?
Shooting Charlie Caruso with an M16. According to Sean Ross Sapp, I'm sorry. New Day beat the Hurt Business to become the brand new Raw Tag Team Champions. And it's a bit abrupt, but not much else for the Hurt Business to lose to right now. Their celebration is cut short by AJ Styles and Omos, who challenged them for WrestleMania. And New Day accept. Wow, I love a good build for a WrestleMania match. What the hell?
Isn't it was too straightforward?
Again, Fastlane is this Sunday. They couldn't have done the title change there. They couldn't have had, Styles and Omos have a thing. No, it's just, all right, you're the new champs. Can we fight? Aye, fine.
It's just
I think... Sorry, Ross. No, well, I think Vince sometimes forgets that Fastlane exists and sometimes remembers, because Shane and Braun was advertised for Fastlane, but now it's not being advertised anymore. And
because they want people to buy it.
I genuinely think that Vince has gone, book it for Fastlane, meaning WrestleMania. So they've gone, okay, they've booked it for Fastlane. Then he's gone, why is it on Fastlane? I want it to be on WrestleMania, and they've gone off. Because why else? Something's going wrong. He's getting old, isn't he, to be honest?
There are a lot of inconsistencies, aren't there? Because we had the promo with Shane and Adam Pearce the week where they're like, you can't just walk up to somebody and challenge for a title. This is the WWE. You must fight and earn your opportunities. Unless you're AJ Styles and Omos, who do exactly that, and other superstars who do that as well. Kofi Kingston broke some news this week, where he said that you have to be registered as a tag team to challenge for tag team titles. He questioned Omos and AJ Styles as to if they're actually registered to be a tag team. It's amazing that, isn't it? Just the inconsistencies. They're just thrown there for no reason whatsoever.
I think stuff like tag team registrations, at least the show's problem. But you are right.
Yeah.
Backstage, Bad Bunny decides that R-Truth deserves the 24/7 title more and just gives it to him. Like Vince McMahon gave Dean Douglas the IC title. The 24/7 division instantly comes chasing after Truth. And this is, of course, because Bad Bunny was at the Grammys. I'm not sure if he had the belt there or not, but maybe they knew something might have happened at the Grammys because they showed that Bad Bunny gave back the WWE shop version of the title because it had the sticker on the back. So, in case Megan Thee Stallion or The Weeknd decided to shoot on him, I guess.
We're so old. Megan Thee Stallion.
I've never heard of Megan the Stallion.
Megan the Stallion.
Is that how you say it?
She's the other one in WAP.
The other one in WAP. Oh,
The other one
you're right.
in
We're all
WAP.
500 years old.
Is that
She also does-
Fetty Wap? Is that?
No, the song is WAP. Wet ass. Yeah. Is this totally passed you by? Oh.
I know
What
about
tune?
WAP. I was just wondering if it was the same as Fetty, because Fetty Wap's a thing I've heard of. What's Fetty Wap?
Fetty Wap's a man. He does songs like Trap Queen and all that.
Trap Queen, big traps.
Yeah, traps.
That's Brock Lesnar, isn't it? Trap Queen.
Megan Thee Stallion does that song about how she's savage.
Oh, is that? Oh, I've heard that
the
song.
Carol Baskin
Right.
parody.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Because I'm claiming the Carol Baskin version came first, of course.
yeah. Megan Thee Stallion covered that song about Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin
Yeah.
killed her husband,
Whacked it.
acted like it didn't happen.
That's Megan Thee Stallion. That's it.
Did it because the tiger was starving. Allegedly. Damian Priest easily beats Jackson Riker, but is attacked by Elias afterwards. Priest and Bad Bunny fight off Elias, but Miz sneaks up from behind and hits Bad Bunny with Elias' guitar to build up to this Bad Bunny-Miz match we're getting. Wow, what a silly match between a non-wrestler and a wrestler.
Tag match, probably.
Kevin Dunn missed it. Bastard. You have to see it on the live. He missed it. It was on the camera's on John Morrison. You just hear a clunk in the background, and he missed it. Had to rely on replays. What a shell.
I was going to say, wow, it's weird seeing these non-wrestlers take non-wrestlers. Braun Strowman calls out Shane McMahon, who continues to deny taunting or insulting him. Before taunting and insulting him, Shane says if Braun wants a match, they'll have it tonight. And again, what you say beforehand about Daniel Bryan being good, because most wrestlers, if they're good in WWE, are noble and therefore stupid. Braun was there going, how dare you say these things? And he's had to stand there looking at it stupid whilst Shane called him stupid. Later, before the match can begin, Shane gets on the mic and claims he needs to warm up. He plays hopscotch, which he says could teach Braun how to count. Braun chases Shane and catches him, but Shane hits him with a ringside camera. He elbow drops Braun through the announce table and covers him in green slime. Brilliant. He could say he got his own back.
Oh, Maffew, you cheeky boy. So I mentioned on a video yesterday to Ross that they, on the YouTube highlights, they've cut out the bit where Shane hits him with the camera. So it just cuts to Shane jumping off the top rope. It's as if Shane has overpowered Braun Strowman without the help of any weapons. Pathetic.
In case people decide to emulate, kids at home decide to emulate that by getting their
Oh,
old
did they cut?
news cameras that
Is
the
that why
dads have
they've-
lying around, I guess.
Is that why they've cut it out?
And
Because
instead use
it's a weapon.
devastating punches that you see from Shane McMahon to Braun Strowman. And
Yeah,
slime,
you're right.
which
The
you could-
implication is you just sparked him out.
Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
could get the gravy out the cupboard or something like that and make some gravy and pour it over your sibling, like the gunge that... the slime Americans, I do apologise.
Yeah.
To be
You
fair,
know
my,
this, Matthew, the Americans don't know the word gunge. I learned that this week.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we spell colour with a U.
to be fair, my younger brother used to hit me with he had a microphone, like a WWF or E microphone, and he used to hit me with that. But I couldn't like really smack him back because he was younger. But just so annoying being the older one.
But
My
Jack,
sister...
did he do the noise?
No, he just hit me with it. It often caught me there. I remember doing that, and he would hit me that. I was like, Tom!
My
Get out of
sisters
my room!
would often tie me up and leave me in a field.
What? Oh,
No, that was a deep throwback. Well done.
What was the other ones? It was like they used to hit him with a brush.
they used to tie me to a tree in the woods and hit him with branches. I love my sisters.
And now he's the champ. I mean,
Alright.
we're sure being tortured and ritually humiliated by our sisters.
If one of them decides to come for him, though, he's in trouble.
Oh, he is.
That's it. Who's going to challenge
That's it.
me? Oh no, it's my sisters.
One of them left a scar on his head. I forgot what they did to leave the scar there, but yeah. Amazing.
Alexa Bliss says that if Orton wants her out of his life so badly, he can do so at Fastlane. Orton accepts, and a match is confirmed between the two. So we have Braun Shane, or maybe not, with the Gunge, Bliss Orton and a tag team wasn't a tag team versus a proper tag team. Also, Bad Bunny would be there. It's all gone a bit weird.
No, you've mixed up the two cards there. This is Fastlane. This is happening at. Bad Bunny is going to probably be at WrestleMania.
Yes.
But still, it's looking good across the board.
Yeah. Mustafa Ali is backstage giving a speech to his Retribution pals, but Riddle interrupts on his wacky scooter of hilarious. Oh, God. They have a match for the US title, Riddle wins.
Yeah.
It
was a good match.
No. I mean,
for a Raw. Yeah, it was one of the highlights of this week's Raw. Yeah, but...
Oh, have you seen Retribution on Twitter? They've been all like, T in T-bar stands for trans rights. And in one way, it's been very nice, like, hooray, people saying these things, but at the same time, I'm going, oh, wait a minute. Of all the stables the LGBT community gets, Retribution?
Is it because they're small time or because they're heels, do you mean?
Because they're Retribution. Because they're small time. The Mean Street Posse could have them.
Oh.
Anyway, Lashley beats Sheamus in the main event, and it's a very good 17-minute slobber knocker.
Yeah.
Lots of meat here in his main event. But afterwards, Lashley is claymored by McIntyre to close the show. Which I thought was a little harsh, to be honest with you, but still,
we need to give some credit to Sheamus because that's three like pay-per-view caliber matches he's put on in 3 weeks. More power to him. Because often watching that do you watch Celtic Warrior workouts? It's sometimes hard when he's trying to keep up with like the younger wrestlers because obviously he's an older man now. He's in his 40s, I think, just in his early 40s, and obviously the wrestling's taking his toll on his body, and he's quite stiff. And so watching him do these matches, I just find it amazing how he can just sort of do it.
Yeah,
it seems weird. You have to watch the Celtic Warrior workouts for that to make sense, I guess. But yeah.
Again, as a reminder, it was only a year ago, 2 years ago, he was having to do tag matches because he was so like broken and worn out, and here he is doing all these long singles matches. So, hey, fair play, me.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what?
DDP
Next, I'll
yoga.
remind him. Sorry, pal.
Must be DDP yoga. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'll have to do a reminder like next week. If I can't think of anything crap and local to put in the Hall of Fame, I'm just going to shove him in instead. AEW Dynamite.
St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Oh, that's right. And if you didn't know it was St. Paddy's Day, Cody beats Penta. Well, Penta had the little St. Paddy's Day hat.
Oh, this bloody match.
Cody beats Penta with a roll-up after Penta does the arm break spot. Penta attacks afterwards and is chased off by the Nightmare family. QT arrives late and they're all annoyed at him because God knows that the one thing to stop Pentagon Jr. was QT Marshall. Anyway, Jack, why were you mad with this match?
Because Cody got his arm broken and then rolled him up. And
Not just rolled him up, though.
both arms.
Held him down with his arms, one of which didn't work, surely.
And because I don't know yet how effective that move is in the AEW universe, right? But I was a big fan of Lucha Underground when it was good. And that arm break spot was the most over move in Lucha Underground. It was awesome. And then you do it to Cody and he pins you straight away. Everyone comes out to check on him. And as Penta is leaving, he's back on his feet going like, oh, bit sore that, lads. I'm like, oh.
That's the difference between Lucha Underground and Cody Rhodes, is the fact he didn't have the spirit of America running through his veins. The powers of all the eagles and the sugar rush of the apple pie to see him through all this turmoil. Because this bothered me, and I don't normally give a toss about like selling all too often, but I'm thinking Cody's arm was buggered at Revolution, and then buggered all the way through the match, and then one more big bugger right at the end of the match when he ripped it out, and then still he could pin him down with his hands like that, and it's just like, because I didn't make too much of a fuss about on my video for that episode of AEW with the whole Shaq thing where he didn't sell Shaq's powerbomb, whatever move it was. But this, when you look at that, and then this week as well, it just needs to calm down a bit, the no selling.
I mean...
You know why? It's because there's no forehead on his arm to bleed. Sorry.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes, obviously. I think he's great, but I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't know what the harm would have been in Penta doing that spot, and then they've got to wave the match off because Cody's so hurt. You know? I don't know.
He is good, but the booking's becoming a bit too... What is it? What's the word?
Formulaic?
It's too much in Cody's favour, whatever word that is.
It's too one way, isn't it?
Yeah. And formulaic because it is repetitive as well. the valiant Cody Rhodes overcoming adversity to usurp the bad opponent. I'm just rambling nonsense now. Bad Cody.
Bad Cody. Bad. Sell more. Hit him with a roll-up newspaper. Jade Cargill wins a squash match against Danny Joyd and taunts Red Velvet at ringside afterwards. I am all right with Jade Cargill doing a squash.
Yeah, of course.
It's a good German suplex, wasn't it?
It was good. She threw her across the ring.
MJF introduces his stable, The Pinnacle. Which he says, obviously, you go up until you reach The Pinnacle. Who arrived in a private jet at the start of the show. And you know they did, because they were seen coming out of it. So it was on the tarmac already. I get Flair used to do that in the 80s all the time. It's great. He admits that his aim was always to take down the inner circle from the inside. The inner circle. And replace them with a great stable of his own. They later take over the inner circle's locker room. What was your favourite MJF line during this? Because mine was, I've got it written down, every time Jericho talked, I had to fall back as far as his hairline.
I liked pretending like you wasn't a walk in the park, which, by the way, you could do with a little more of. That was a double, like a double one, like ba-bang. Oh. I like the opening. Oh, go on, sorry.
I enjoyed that. This is Evolution. Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair. Because a lot of people have been saying it's like Evolution's promo when they first got introduced back in the day. I'm not saying that.
It's like the Inner Circle's promo.
Yeah, I'm not saying it personally, but it's a lot of things people have been saying.
Why have they been saying that? That's stupid. That's what heel stables do.
Yeah, because it's the past, present, the future. So it's the future's MJF, the present's Wardlow, and then the past is Sean Spears.
That was the weird one when it here's the pinnacle, the top of the top, and just look at things merely in kayfabe, nothing to do with his wrestling or anything. Then Sean Spears is on the end, who's done bugger all in the nearly 2 years of AEW now.
Yeah.
Like I said, someone's going to take those pinfall losses in the 6 and 8 man tag matches. Tony's not going to take the pin. Matt Hardy's group beats the team of Jurassic Express and Bear Country. After miscommunications between the good guys, Matt pins Mark Huston and brags about it. I'm not really that into big money Matt Hardy's stuff and this and that. But I do like when he's such a poo house about, that guy's definitely, tag me in, do the dance, hits his finisher anyway, and then hooks the leg as well on Marco's stunt.
It is good.
Yeah. Backstage, Don Callis, here we go, tells the Young Bucks that they aren't the same dominant force he once saw in New Japan, because they're going to be talking about New Japan when New Japan's not on screen. Yeah, this also saw very briefly one of those things that annoys me about AEW, and I'm sure it annoys other people, because I've got a lot of people agreeing. Don Callis went, hey! And it's the new shirt they have on Pro Wrestling Tees, got to strike while the iron's warm, about how you can't slap the thigh whilst you're wrestling, because NXT has banned it, with those signs online.
Have they banned it, though?
Well, everyone reported it, so it must be true, Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's told Gargano and others, but...
No, not NXT, the main
Drew
roster.
McIntyre or Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
I thought it was just NXT. Yeah, there's loads of them on Raw.
No,
as
it
well.
wasn't just NXT. I think it was specifically. I think it was I think it started in the main roster, but started on SmackDown, I think. But they're just ignoring it, so that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I still don't care about thigh slaps, and it's weird to me. I know AEW needs to get their digs in WWE whenever possible, and sometimes it's like, yeah, fair enough, and then sometimes like, all right, move on. But for something that AEW wrestlers do as well, I have no idea why you point this out. No idea.
Yeah.
Here's my shirt that says wrestling's fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get it.
That's the thing. It's like they take so many shots that some of them don't land. Like the brass ring at Revolution did absolutely no for me. And this one as well did nothing as well. But it goes both ways, doesn't it? Because I know Drew McIntyre's denied it in the press this week. In the press this week. Let's not turn a phrase. He's denied it this week. The shot he had during his promo on this week's Raw, and he was speaking about there being no spark and promising fans and then under-delivering or something like that. Something along those lines he did in his promo on Raw.
Sparks
so it goes both ways.
Sparks won't fly or whatever.
And sometimes it is good, but more often than not, it's just these days it's a bit like, oh, man.
I like the fact that Drew said that, and he went, oh, God, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to say it. It's just a common expression. Because if he did mean to say it like that, it makes him look really good and polite, and AEW's look like a bunch of wankers. No, we did mean to say it. We put the shirt on the brass ring.
I agree with your point that, Maffew, that it was more annoying to me, not because it was a shot at WWE, but because it's saying, wrestling's fake, let's go to a match. It's a bit Russo almost. Like, I didn't like it.
Yeah, the thigh slaps on Raw aren't real, but in AEW they are real. Like, what is happening now? What layer am I supposed to be watching this show on? Anyway, that aside, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston face the Bad Brothers in tag team action and win with a Moxley roll-up.
Another roll-up.
The Baduns and Omega attack after the bell, Pillmanizing Eddie's leg and looking to do the same to Moxie's neck. Quite a common thing this week. The Bucks run out to stop them and refuse to return the too sweet gesture. They argue a lot before Moxie chased them all away with a chair. I think this was really good for Moxie and Kingston. One of them getting beat down on the ringside and having to make that fiery comeback, and then obviously the Bucks and the other lot getting into it. Yeah, all right with it.
I just really wish that Cody match hadn't ended with a roller. No, I'm not just throwing it back to that, because this match ended with a roller. So,
Jack, do you think if they Pillmanized Cody's neck, they'd get up and hit a sunset flip?
but I just really like this match. Moxley and Kingston are excellent, but I do wish that the first match hadn't ended with a roller.
Ross?
I've got nothing to add.
That's fine.
At this time.
Tony Schiavone interviews Darby Allin and Sting. Darby wants to be a fighting champ, doesn't want to be in one, and challenges any member of the Dark Order to a title match. And then later on, Big John Silver accepts. Woof. Lance Archer crashes the interview and wants Sting not to play with fire before leaving. And then Team Taz now interrupt. And Brian Cage tells Sting he respects him. The rest of Team Taz are furious and Cage storms off. Yeah, we're still doing the thing where Sting comes out and everyone comes out in succession to go, wow, Sting's really cool, and put him over.
But
now,
this was a very
apparently
efficient segment, though, in my opinion, because it set up three things. You got Darby and John Silver, you've got Sting and Archer, and Cage and the rest of Team Taz. I was like, wow, that is economical use of TV time. And
fair play to Brian Cage as well. I was going to say, just fair play to Brian Cage. I'd be sick of Team Taz as well if I was in Team Taz.
Yeah. What we're going to do today, we're going to go and call out Sting again.
We'll get you soon.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. And I think as well, this opens up the door for Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs, which is a match that I just definitely want to see now.
Oh, now you've pointed that out. Yeah, you're right. Great segment. Yeah, we're going to get that. Yeah. Phoenix beats Angelico in a short but good match because Phoenix was in it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marvez
Angelico was good as well.
Oh, he is. It's just that we have to point out that Phoenix is probably the best wrestler in the world right now.
Right.
And in 2019.
In 2019, and maybe last year as well, and maybe 2022 as well. Who knows? Meanwhile, Marvez finds Miro in the gym and asks him about the rematch challenge from Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Miro isn't interested and wants to move on, but Kip Sabian comes along and still wants revenge because they ruined his wedding. There's tension between the pair, but they seem to make up. Miro walks off and Sabian accepts the rematch against his wishes. This is the bit where Miro says, I have better things to be doing. And Sabian goes, I haven't.
Yeah.
I enjoy that Miro's sort of dropping the gamer stuff now, and it's just like, it looks like this match is going to see Miro get sick of Kip's SHIT and then just go on to better things.
Kip's in big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the line from Miro as well, where he's like, the worst thing you can do for your career is have your wife at ringside.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even get that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Lana.
Sorry, I have to keep up sometimes with these, but I need a Red Bull just to keep up with these. Hey, remember, the WWE stinks. Trevor Lee does my finisher bad. Bailey's a bad person. Brass ring.
To be fair, that Bobby Lashley stuff was rotten.
That was the other news that happened on Saturday. So I'm doing a Twitch. Jim Cornette versus Mitt. Do we need to go into it?
No, God.
Oh, God.
I think it's over now, isn't it?
I know. Why was Jim Cornette cutting a promo to an Inside the Ropes article about Miro on Twitter?
Listen, that sentence, he does.
because it gets him views, I suppose. He's just doing his Piers Morgan thing, isn't
he? Yeah. Yeah, they wrapped it up. It's all fake. They shook hands. Whatever. Anyway, the main event is an unsanctioned even Falls Count Anywhere match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. Rosa wins after a brutal match with much twattery, with both women bleeding by the end, especially Britt. DVDs on the ladders, weird thingamajig through a table at ringside. I forget what the move was, but it looked like the table gave it nothing. I was surprised at how much they did in this match. I was pleasantly surprised.
It's like awesome Tanaka.
Yeah, like they smashed one another.
You just don't expect to see all the toys, as some commentators like to say, and all the blood and all that gnarly stuff on weekly TV, do you?
No.
Yeah.
And when some wrestlers just look cool when they bleed, and Britt Baker's 100% one of them. She looks so like she's just such a badass, which is weird because it's not her character. But when she gets all psychotic, it's amazing. I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah, this was quite a episode of AEW, even with the twists and turns and new stables. This saved it. This made it memorable. It's made it worth watching. It's nice to see that they're giving the women something other than that one spot before the main event when people are getting a bit bored of the show. Finally, they had them at the main event. And it was a great feud that's been building up for months and months. So, yeah, no issues here.
Rebel went through a table.
Yeah. Oh, that poor leg of hers. But I did see some people go, I don't like seeing women do death matches or violence and stuff like that.
Get over, man.
I do. It's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah, I do as well when they're really good like that.
Yeah, when they're good at it, yeah.
And that was a weird episode of AEW Dynamite.
The aftermath made me cringe a little bit. And I can't go in too hard on him because I still want those Jericho Cruise tickets and the £5 a month and all that. But you see the aftermath with Tony Khan?
He's just trying to show that he's a really caring boss. That's all he was doing.
Matthew, it's a bit cringy. You know how really rich people like Mark Zuckerberg and that are a bit odd, and they try really hard to convince you that they're human. That's what this was. So like, so after the match, they're all at ringside and stuff, and Britt's walking around. She seems fine, but obviously she's got like thumbtacks in her back and blood all over her face and everything. She blatantly just wants to get to the back to get sorted out. And Tony keeps like pulling her back and being like, that was so awesome. That was the best thing I've seen. No, wait. That was the best thing I've seen on TV ever. And she's just like, thank you very much. But
that was better than Breaking Bad.
But her body language is clearly saying, let me get to the back right now. I'm in a lot of pain. And Tony's just like, that was awesome. I'm such a fan. Get in the bin, Tony.
Yeah. That's nice to go hand in hand with the AEW Dark Elevation thing where it came out and
turned into a mole. I'll get you, Kenny Omega. What happened to his face?
Yeah, God, these lights are bright, right? You know, I'll come get you. You know, it's like Kalisto. But yeah, it's Tony Khan doing those pre-film stuff for Tony being a dick. It's like, ha, Impact smells, lol. Okay, fine with that. But it was like, you ever see the episode of Simpsons where it's behind the laughter and it's like Homer's doing Rent 2 and they're all like doing a serious like, yeah, so I have to make the rent. Oh, here's our landlord, Mr. Stingely. Where is the rent?
Wait, I
just completely hamming it up with a different performance. This is what this felt like.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. Like, oh no. So people are like, oh no, is he actually making his way into the show some more? And who's going to say no to him?
Is that why they've invented Elevation to distract him? This is your little playground. You can do all this stuff there. We'll book the real one.
Yeah. You can't even have him ruining Dark. They have to make a show for him.
They hired Big Show to be his baby.
Yeah. Look, he respects you. You fell off Cobo Hole that one time. Oh. Because that would be funny if AEW's like, oh, it's not like WWE, is it? And then it's like Tony Khan coming out and going, next week, we're going to shift gears. Nonetheless, NXT. Finn Balor and Karrion Kross come face to face at the start of the show. They're interrupted by Lachlan and Birch, who claim that the focus should instead be on Pete Dunne, who could beat them both.
Our friend can beat you. Yeah, it was basically that. It was an excuse to get them into this segment.
Scarlett suggests that they defend their tag titles against Finn and Kross later. They agree. Dexter Lumis beats Austin Theory after some mind games, pretending to be his friend before hitting the silence for the win. What? I didn't see this. What does this mean?
He
abducted him for a while, didn't he? So he's obviously brainwashed Austin Theory. So towards the end of the match, Austin Theory hugged him and then turned it into the silencer. And then, Austin Theory's been brainwashed, I think, by Dexter Lumis. But then fights him at points as well. It was a bit confusing for me.
It didn't make total sense, no.
Adam Cole cuts a promo saying he doesn't have anything personal against Kyle O'Reilly. He just didn't need him anymore. Regal comes out and says that Kyle isn't here due to injury. Kyle interrupts on the Tron and says that he's actually not there for Cole. He's actually not there for Cole's own safety. Later, Regal hears news of emergency and rushes outside. Cole and O'Reilly have been arrested, with Cole claiming that O'Reilly tried to run him off the road. Huh.
Yeah, it's not the direction I was expecting this to go in.
It's that denim jacket sent Kyle down the wrong path, hasn't it? Try to run people off roads and stuff now. Punk rock. Not punk rock. The other one.
Metal?
Classic rock.
Classic rock, yeah.
Glam rock. He's now two-tone Scar. Why did their car chase end outside the performance centre? I don't know. It was a bit of a weird one. But Regal was very convincing.
He was waiting for him by the bush.
Like, can you imagine if there's like CCTV next week and it's just Adam Cole just put his indicator on, just turning out the performance centre car park, and then Kyle comes in at like 10 miles an hour. Whoa!
What are you doing?
Mendoza and Wilde beat Breezango before Santos Escobar calls out Jordan Devlin. Uh-oh. He arrives and Escobar challenges him for take hour. Devlin cheap shots him and leaves.
Jordan Devlin's a handsome man in his own right, okay. But he cannot stand there and say to Santos Escobar, this is what a champion looks like. I'm not having that for a second. You cannot do that, Jordan Devlin, I'm sorry. Not to Santos Escobar. You can do it to me if I was the champion. But not to Santos Escobar. There's levels, isn't there?
Escobar is a bloody... Oh my god, he's like Charles Leclerc. He doesn't look anything like Charles
Leclerc. What are you going to say, Charlotte Flair there?
He looks like Charlotte...
No, wait, what did you say?
Charles Leclerc, the F1 driver that
I thought you said Charlotte Flair incorrectly.
No, he doesn't look like Charlotte.
Yeah, I thought it's like Charlotte Eclair. Mike, is that a sweet?
I'm trying to do a French pronunciation of Charles Leclerc, right? Because he's not English. But if he was English, he'd be called Charles the Clerk.
Good to see we're on the same level.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai beats Zoe Stark. Io Shirai comes out afterwards. Kai tries to get in her face, but she ignores her and gives a contract to Raquel Gonzalez for their title match.
She really wants the match, doesn't she?
I want the match.
Aye.
I don't want to be in it. I want to see it.
I hope she doesn't lose. That would look a bit silly on her part, wouldn't it? Like, 2 weeks in a row now I've come up to you and 1 week I said I want you, and then the next week I gave you a contract because I want you some more. And then she ends up losing. I hope she doesn't lose.
She wants to be a fighting champion.
Gonna lose though, isn't she?
Not yet. Not the first time of asking, I think.
This is the one.
Whoa.
This is the one.
Okay.
Been waiting for. Haven't actually been waiting for it. That's just lyrics from Stone Roses, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That classic rock band we were talking about. Ciampa beats Marcel Bartel, but Volta, that's right, the Walter, comes out afterwards and beats him down. Slaps the grey right off of Tommaso Ciampa. Bloody hell. And apparently that Imperium are so desperate to get Timothy Thatcher on their side, back to where he belongs, that they've managed to swindle Volta in the country. I thought I've had to hit him with a tranquilizer dart like Mr. T in the A-Team to get him to come to America. But he's there.
Just imagine Volta in a safari park, just rampaging around.
Volta, want to come to America? 9. All right. Drink this. Okay. Wakes up in the performance center. He's like, I
just imagine him Eichner leaning out of a Jeep.
Was ist? Right, we've had Police Academy, the A-Team. Big hit with the 18 to 30 demographic. So yeah, this will probably get Thatcher to join, which will mean they'll have proper ring camp on NXT.
I don't think he will join.
Oh no, but that'll mean we'll get Thatcher versus Volta. That'd be terrible.
I think he'll join later, maybe. Maybe he'll... I don't know.
You think they'll go, we've brought Walter. Oh, sure you have. Don't be, you can't trick me into that. Walter's here! He's just like, really happy to see him.
If he does join, they'll kick Eichner out, so it's like the OG.
That'd be great. They'll go, we're here! The gang's back together! And then they all slowly turn and stare at him.
That would be a shame, because then what would Eichner do?
Go back to being the base creative pro wrestler on 2K games, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah?
I felt like a twat saying that.
that makes me sad. That just made me sad.
I tell you what, though.
How does
Tommaso-
Mad Kurt sleep at night? The mean things he says.
Tommaso Ciampa is a snow shovel away from being that big old scary man off Home Alone 1, isn't he? It's incredible.
LA Knight wins his debut against August Gray. Such a weird sentence. He won then, did he?
Yeah, he won.
I mean,
Yeah.
August Gray?
No. who
Eli
can believe-
Drake?
What do you mean? Of course
It's
he
just
did.
weird to think that Eli Drake, of all people, is back and beating Evolve dudes.
I thought that Eli Drake was meant to face Bronson Reed,
Yeah.
but that never happened. Maybe that's to do with...
Oh, go on.
Bronson Reed was trying on clothes. In all too relatable content for us big lads. You get yourself a nice pair of trousers or a nice t-shirt in Primark. Remember Primark, lads?
Yeah.
Take yourself to the dressing rooms, try it on. Rips all our terrible scenes.
But luckily, Reginald was in the store next to him, so he just took the stuff he ripped and put it in, then told the one, he ripped them. He ripped them. Logan and Birch retained their tag titles after Finn accidentally knocked Scarlett off the apron, causing Cross to batter him. He continues the beatdown afterwards to end the show. I believe one of Lorcan or Birch, I think it's Birch, suffered an injury during this match.
Oh, really? Oh.
And that was NXT, to show where Volta made his triumphant return.
Wait, how did it end?
Debut. Wait.
How did it
No,
end?
it wasn't NXT. I get confused now. When he beat Pete Dunne, was he actually part of NXT?
He floats around, didn't he? But he's never actually been like an official part of the roster. He's more NXT UK who just frequents in the yellow one.
I feel like something happened at the end of the show, but I don't
That's a
know.
nice word, Ross.
Frequents.
Oh,
what
right.
you did.
Is that what you said?
What did I say? What do you think?
You said it in such a posh way. I thought you said something. I knew an exciting word. Oh, frequents. Oh, I've heard of that.
Hyacinth Bouquet.
I frequent with Charles Lafleur.
Leclerc.
Also, we're getting Volta versus Rampage at the NXT UK Prelude, I think it's called.
Yeah, well, obviously I want Rampage to win, Matthew. I'm sorry. Right?
What is that? I saw that last night. What's the prelude?
It's not a takeover.
Rampage isn't going to win, but if he somehow does, I'll be absolutely buzzing.
You'd
Imagine.
love it if you beat him, would you?
I would love it.
Is it on WrestleMania week?
Yeah, when is it? Good question. I've got my computer in front of me.
So it's
Come on,
not a
Rampage.
It's not a takeover, but it is a takeover. Why is it called the prelude? The prelude to what?
To the...
April 8th, Thursday. So it's the prelude to the NXT and then the NXT and the WrestleMania and the WrestleMania.
I'll watch that main event all day long.
You know what? It'll be the tester that makes sure bloody Peacock works. We're going to have NXT being the thing to make sure. The NXT UK has to be the one.
Very good point. Very good point.
Imagine the kickoff if Peacock ruins WrestleMania, which it might.
But imagine all the bandwidth needed for Volta versus Rampage.
All the Americans are going to be
bandwidth.
messaging us. What's happened at WrestleMania, lads?
What did Rampage do?
Not on that one. I want Rampage to win, man. Come on.
And that was the week of wrestling.
I'm not gonna throw your support behind Volta, Matthew. We could do a little.
I
want
didn't want to ruin
Rampage to
I didn't want to get your hopes.
Oh,
crushed.
fair enough.
You know, the cold hard truths of reality.
It's gonna happen. I know.
This podcast is all about escapism. Yes, Rampage is going to win. That's right.
Yeah,
Against
he can.
who's your Volta? Yeah, of course.
Rampage will win.
Only one of them was a WCPW original and champion.
Yeah, Volta was in there for a hot minute.
Yeah, he battered loads of lads when he was in there, but still, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
I remember being the one lad cheering for him.
Well, yeah.
Volta came out no pop because the WCPW crowd was very interesting and who they knew exactly, and it's just me going, "Yay, Volta!" Everyone else, yeah, Volta, hi. So I thought I'd brag about something no one cared about because what else are you going to do with a podcast? That was the week of wrestling.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
Now let's have a little old look in the mailbag. Wagwan. This is lockdown attempt 3,462.
I thought that was just you.
Oh no, that's how it's actually typed.
It's just the way you went,
WAAARRNNN.
I just thought it was the way you were just introducing the segment. Wagwan, everyone. It's time for the...
Yes, that's my new thing.
Hear me now.
Yeah.
I used to say Wagwan at the start of videos. I used to get a bit of flack for it. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, you're not Jamaican, I suppose.
Well, apparently I'm not allowed to use that word.
Yeah.
According to certain people. Not everybody, I should say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we did that colloquialism game the other week.
I'll read. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Owl pet. This is lockdown attempt 3462 to get onto the podcast. But hey, we try again.
He's made it. Or she.
Should we skip it?
No.
I've been a fan of the wrestling since I was about 9 years old, and as a result, for all of my life, I have wished to be a wrestler. I recently got the chance to watch Volta vs. Dragunov for the first time, and the first time in my life, I watched the match, and after about 10 minutes, I was thinking, I'm alright, gonna leave them to it. The hard-hitting and no-punches-pulled nature of that match made me think I wouldn't want to be in there. Obviously, massive respect to those guys for putting such an amazing match, and indeed to anyone who steps foot in the ring for our entertainment. But my question is this: was there ever a spot, match, or moment that made it clear in your mind that you never want to be a professional wrestler? Another honourable mention that made me shriek at the time was watching Becky give Charlotte the ladder leg drop at Evolution through the announce table. The table didn't break properly, and Becky literally bounces up in the air off Charlotte's body, and you can hear her groaning off camera.
Oh.
I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for all the amazing content as usual, and good luck for the 8-day haul over WrestleMania week. Is it 8 days? It's 4 days of shows. Oh, you know what? I don't want to think about it. Yours truly, Yusuf Faraj. Is it
Thank you, Yusuf.
Farag? Is it Faraj?
Farag.
But thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you. Very sorry for not knowing how to say anybody's name. Don't worry, I have that with everybody alive. But thank you, pal. Yeah, there's been times I've seen like they've had like a Jimmy Hart or a Miz style character in wrestling and thought, I could do that, run away, not doing anything, having my big, huge hench bodyguard do all the work. That's great, that, isn't it? Schoolboy finish, hey. And then, yeah, you see someone getting thrown off a cage. And you go, that doesn't look that hard, that's all right. And then you go to one of the live shows and you see how actually tall not only the ring is, and not only the ring ropes and everything else, but then to get the cage and you go, yeah, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Because you don't appreciate how big those things are until you go to TV and see it.
It's
that's not like the commentators putting over the big show, but really you see how big everything is in real life.
Yeah, even standing on the middle rope feels quite high up, especially when you're looking outwards. You're like, whoa, I'm very high up here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the
specific
question?
moments or moments?
Oh, right.
Did you go?
Yeah, but it wasn't a wrestling match or anything. It was when I was about probably 10 or 11, because I did jiu-jitsu a lot when I was a kid, and I got invited to be part of the Northeast Junior display team for jiu-jitsu, right, lads? I know. And I had a bit really where where we went, we did such events as the Heben Festival and the Jarrow Festival. And I had a bit that I do with an older lad called David, he's a great lad. He's got a family and everything now. Where I'd be on doing a demonstration with my staff, right? Because it wasn't jiu-jitsu as we think of it these days. It was more of a general martial arts class, right? And I was spinning the stick around and stuff. And he'd come on pretending to be drunk in a tracksuit. He'd be like, oh, what are you doing there? And then he'd attack me and I'd beat him up with the stick. It was basically wrestling, really. Like, I'd pretend to hit him, he'd be hurt. We'd both grab the stick and I'd lean backwards and he'd like fly over my head because he was really athletic. He was a really athletic guy. And basically he made me look good. He was like bumping all over the place, essentially. And I used to like it. I thought, this is good. This is like wrestling. This is cool. This little bit that I've worked out with me and David. And then one day at training, we were all having a competition of who can do the longest forward roll. So you like dive into the forward roll. And I wasn't the best at that. And I tried it and I was like really far behind it. The other lads were like diving way further than me. So I really went for it and landed right on my neck. And I was just like, you just feel, it feels so horrible. And that was from the floor. That wasn't even from like off a turnbuckle or anything. So that's the moment when I realized like wrestlers must like, it's serious. And I wasn't even injured in any way, but I just remember how stunned I was. And I was just like, wrestling's not for me at all. And it wasn't even a wrestling match or anything that I was watching. It was me not being able to do a diving forward roll. Sorry, that was quite a long-winded story there, but that's when I realised.
Oh, that's what we like and appreciate from you, Jack. Thank you. You've reminded me actually before Ross says his. Yeah, well, I've told it many times before when I decided when I was drunk to give my mate's mattress a leg drop, not realising I had no springs. It turns out if you leg drop concrete, essentially, Hogan makes it look so easy when you land on someone's big soft head. This hurt. This hurt a lot, and I'm going to go into work the next few weeks with a bruised coccyx bone. Sucked. So I don't know how these people can do this, and then, you did this, had the matches, the bumps, and it's like, all right, cool. Kind of Tesco delivery the next day to do me shifts. I'm like, oh, okay. Ross, what about yourself?
It never ever crossed my mind because it was not accessible. Like for me, when I was younger, you never ever, because obviously when we were younger, we weren't really online as much, like sort of 11, 12 sort of years of age, and you didn't know about like UK Hammerlock and stuff like that. Like there was the famous story of Drew McIntyre having to go all the way from Scotland down to Bournemouth, was it, or somewhere? Right down the south of the country to go to his wrestling school. So just the fact that...
Him and Prince Amin, off they go.
Yeah, it's just like all that stuff. It was just never sort of a possibility. You never put the pieces together to sort of work out. Well, Drew McIntyre obviously did, but his passion was obviously a lot bigger than mine for wrestling. But I think, when I was in my teens, I was as fit as a fiddle. So maybe if I was a teen today, I maybe would have given it a go somewhere. But it just never crossed my mind because it was never really... You didn't know where to go or who to speak to. And obviously, I can't do it now because I'm fat as anything. So,
yeah, none of these wrestlers have any body weight on them. You're right. God. Hello, chaps. Aren't you all lovely? Yada yada yada. Perhaps I could ask a question about wrestling. Nah, don't be daft. With the seemingly imminent on-screen return of Bray Wyatt, I would like to ask: is this do or die time for him? After creating one of the most novel and interesting characters in years, possibly since Kane, it seems to me that they are now one misstep from the end of not only The Fiend, but probably Bray in WWE. A year ago, the character was probably saved and enhanced by the iconic Firefly Funhouse match. Today, due to a series of decisions ranging from the lazy to the bizarre, it is most likely all our. There is no way The Fiend can drop down the card into a US title feud. A character that quirky has to be the focus of a big storyline, like Kane in 97-98, or they'll just become comic relief like Kane 1999 onwards. Would love to hear your thoughts unless you are too busy trying to work out what the German phrase "Floggen die kaputt Horse" means. What?
I can work out that one.
Oh, I can. All the best. One moo time.
Thank you, one moo time. Thank you, one moo time. I will say that Kane in 99, yeah, but then 2 years later he was clearing out the Royal Rumble. So there's
I would disagree with the 99 thing because.
But I do get the general point that Mr. Moo Time is making, or Miss. Yeah, I get it though, because the Fiend is. Oh man, it was so promising when he came out and had that match against Balor, I think it was, and everyone was like, "Wow," and it's when you've got such a high stakes character. It can go badly wrong, and it sort of has.
Yeah, when he broke his neck, like you doing jitsu rolls.
Yes,
yeah.
I think
the third time.
Back. Yeah. Oh.
What a special podcast this is.
Yeah, it's fine. He's given him permission to do something. What's he doing?
One of the light bulbs in the studio is burned out, so it's getting replaced today.
Fair enough. Hey,
burned out. That's what we're going to be. The weekend of April 8th.
That's about 2016.
What do we call them? Are they landlords or the owners of the land that our offices are? Quite efficient when it comes to problems and that, aren't they? Not too bad.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
that's good.
Not too bad. Yeah. What was the question?
The Fiend. Is the Fiend going to be able to recover?
Yeah. Or is he a kaput horse?
Yes.
In terms of being a world title contender, I would say a kaput horse. But in terms of having a career in the wrestling, WWE always needs a character like Kane, as he said, or The Fiend. Always needs a spooky bollocks. So I think he's safe as houses. It's just being that sort of, never really in a title picture, but always there to put on sort of big spectacle, impressive things like Kane did for much of his career.
I agree with that as well.
I remember being in Germany it's funny enough with that thing, but in Germany and the WXW crew were like, I was like, who likes The Fiend? And I was like, I like the Fiend. You like The Fiend? Like, you all right, Matthew? I'm like, no. The Firefly Funhouse bits. Well, this is like last year, so the Firefly Funhouse bits are great. Do you not like them? And like,
Wow.
it was like I was just one idiot. Like I said, I like Big Bang Theory. Like, but I'm like, no, do you not? Oh, okay.
I've been in
and
this.
then they were very quickly vindicated by how bad the character became and stupid, and emphasized everything that I didn't really care about when it first started. It was there's two different things to this character. The Fiend, the Alexa Bliss, the Black Goo, the I'm possessing you, Randy, he stuff. And then there's the Firefly Funhouse. Those bits are great. The rest,
They just spunked their load too early, to put it bluntly. It's a shame Halloween came around when Halloween did come around, because that's just the way I took it from the outside looking in, is the fact that they wanted to sell lots of masks because Halloween and stuff. So let's get them in the world title picture straight away, and Hell in a Cell happened and all that stuff. It should never happen that quickly.
No, you're right.
yeah, it would have been all right if, I don't know, it wasn't Hell in a Cell season created by the people in charge who don't have to, whatever, Bran. It would be funny, though, if he just starts being, he turns into just Bray Wyatt, just the presenter.
Yeah.
And people are like, what are you talking about? The Fiend? What? Who? Never speaks of it about it again. Or maybe it would suck. Maybe Maffew should talk about the next question. Good morning and greetings from Michigan, USA. Hope you're all doing well today and every day. Aw. I want to take a moment to thank you for everything you do and have done for the past few years, and during the name redacted days as well. Everyone at
Cheers.
Cultaholic have changed my life for the better when I was struggling the most with mental and physical health. I am currently in recovery after having my gallbladder removed, but the problems seem to still be present despite the surgery. I am thankful for the content you put out every day to give me something to look forward to. My question for you today is, if there was one thing in wrestling that you could change today, what would it be and why? My serious answer would be the independent contract of the Battle in WWE, but a less serious pick would be to have AEW introduce the Hardcore Championship, so Dark can have a championship of their own. Thanks again for all that you do. It's not a stretch to say that you have saved my life on several occasions
Oh my word.
over the past few years. I am grateful for you all and have a fabulous rest of your day. Andrew Smith.
Thank
you, Andrew. So, sometimes we get questions like that. I'm waiting to see the end. This is only joking, you all suck. Honestly, it's just because it's very... I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just very odd sometimes to get such lovely praise even.
Get well soon as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Shout outs to... God, being in hospital during this time.
Yeah.
I think what that'd be like.
Yeah.
And then you tune in and you go, God, I'm going to be here for another few days, maybe even a few weeks. I haven't got Peacock. So, of course, hey, the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast just dropped. I'll listen to that. And it's like, who's George Reynolds?
The Darlington Stadium.
Darlington?
Where's that?
Anyway,
So
thank
if
you,
could
Andrew.
thank you very much, Andrew. So he's asking, if you could change one thing in wrestling, what would it be? Serious or hilarious?
Seriously, I would just make less of it in terms of the mainstream ones. It's just, I know, obviously, I don't understand TV and how it works at all, but there's obviously something in creating as much content as you possibly can, even when it's bad. So I would just negate all of that logic, and there must be a reason behind it, obviously, because that's why AEW now has so many shows, and the one thing I hope they wouldn't do, but it's happening. Just, trim your rosters down, keep the good ones, get rid of the bad ones, and then put on less content because you can create more killer with less filler. There you
In the
go.
words of some 41.
I was going to say... mine would simply be 2 Hour Raw.
Yeah.
Imagine how much better that show would be if it was like, oh, God, it just flew by, didn't it? Oh, what a great Monday night.
Mine would be for, let's say, a month of the year, a brief period of the year, maybe even just a couple of weeks. Where's like a traditionally dead period of wrestling?
June.
June. Okay, summertime. And then that's when all the forbidden doors are opened and we have loads... Somehow, I don't know how this would ever happen, but somehow we get loads of super shows with different promotions going up against different wrestlers and that. I want to see Okada versus bloody, the lads.
The lads.
Rollins. Yeah, I think it would be good. That'll be mine. I can't think of an actual serious one because there's a lot wrong with the wrestling industry that needs to change.
Yeah. That was a serious one. don't count that over one being serious, would just be between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, give the wrestlers a month off because, let's face it, the wrestling's crap around that time anyway, so who would notice?
Oh, I've had more wrestling. I've got more. Onwards! Entertain me!
That's Hell in a Cell season, Maffew. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Can't miss Hell in a Cell, that one time of the year where Hell in a Cells can happen.
And the Grand Split and Survivor Series. Oh no, just see what the next one is. You cruel get. Hello, Ross, Jack, and Maffew. For weeks, I have seen you try and guess what international phrases and expressions mean. I've been meaning to send some Mexican ones because I think our language is one of the funniest. I believe we have the weirdest and most ridiculous ways of expressing ourselves, especially in Mexico City, where I'm from. Being an English as a second language teacher, I find it really hard to translate some of these expressions and would love to see you try. I'm only including 10, so Jack doesn't get sick of them. I've also included the expressions in Spanish, so Maffew can try and fail miserably at pronouncing them if he wants.
Oh, goodness me.
God, no. Thank you so much for all the content and your hard work. Oh, yeah, love to you too. I've been a fan since the Name Redacted days. Lots of love. Michelle from Mexico.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, gracias in advance. I didn't do Spanish at school. I know Spanish from Super Crazy doing the unos, dos, tres punches in the corner, and that's it.
Which knobhead picked this question from the mailbag? Oh, what a twat.
Oh.
I could read them out and you two could guess. But
no.
Matthew, part of the fun is Matthew. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, did you do that?
Oh, mate, A-star.
Oh.
Oh.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Fantastical.
Again, apologies to, the... I just realised, how cool is that, again, that we've got people from genuine Mexico listen to our podcast.
Genuine Mexico.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Yeah. Anyway, they're probably going to cancel after this. Number uno. No.
He's just slipped that in casually there.
No, that's it, though. That's it.
Number uno, whatever. Yeah.
After quesadilla, I'm done. No tener pelo en la leguina. Oh,
wait, you are going to read them in English.
Leguina, said right.
You are going to read them in English.
Not having hairs on the tongue.
Not having hairs on the tongue.
You're slick. You're a smooth operator.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you're a witty eye.
Being brutally honest.
That makes sense as well. That makes sense too.
Dos, andar con el Jesus en la boca.
Can we have it in English, please?
All right, sorry. I mean, Jesus in your mouth.
Having Jesus in your mouth.
I think you guys waiting for me to stop laughing.
It's boca mouth, wow. Because bocadillo is a sandwich.
Barocca?
So is that literally mouth thing or something like that?
Mouth food.
Is barocca of Spanish origin?
But it sounds like a Spanish word, doesn't it? Yeah.
Having Jesus in the mouth.
Being very honest.
Yeah.
Being extremely worried.
Okay. I was
better.
better.
You got Jesus in your mouth, yeah.
Ours made more sense than the languages, but.
Oh God. Te agarron comiendo camote. They caught you eating sweet potato.
You've been cheating on your diet, getting all the carbs in.
Oh, sweet potato is good for you though. They've caught you doing really well on your diet. That's what I guess.
They caught you distracted. Oh, fun fact: camote tends to be a euphemism for male genitalia.
Oh, there it is.
Bueno. Before sacale le sopa e alguin. You're getting the soup out of someone.
Is this another vulgar one?
Spill the tea, right? Sister.
Yeah, getting the truth. Ross is one.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Getting someone to tell the truth or spill the beans.
Ross has actually got one right.
Well
is that
done.
the first time we've...
That's right. They don't spill the beans in Mexico. They spill the soup. And remember this when you go to Mexico and you're interrogating someone. I do remember one time when I was coming through, Southern California and waiting in the queue, and it came over the tannoy. Can someone who speaks Spanish please come to the so-and-so desk? And everyone in the queue started laughing, going, "Who doesn't speak Spanish in Southern California?" So kind of flashbacks to that now, and I'm going, okay. Dale el avión, giving someone the plane.
How's plain spelt there?
Plain as in...
I'll be on. Yeah, so like, yeah.
I don't know why I did that for a plane.
Giving someone the plane is
Giving them the boot. Get out my house.
Oh, I was going to say giving someone the freedom to make their own decision. They can do what they want. You can do what you want. I'm giving you the plane. The world's your oyster.
Ignore or not give importance to what someone is saying.
Oh, the very opposite. Damn.
Oh, God. Number 6 says... Que pedo.
Pedo, probably. Still not Still not much better.
I know, but I can't not see that and say, que pedo. What fart?
What fart?
What fart?
Jay, what fart?
Load of bollocks.
Yeah, what a load of rubbish.
You're talking rubbish.
Meaning, what's going on? Either as a greeting or to show surprise.
Like que pasa? Like that? Que pasa is what's happening.
Que pedo.
No, that's not a thing. Mexico's so silly. What's he like? Calm down, Mexico.
A seguir. Perseguido le chileta. To keep chasing the pork chop. I know, I did French. I don't know.
Oh, no, it was my Italian from me there. To chase the pork chop.
To keep chasing the pork chop.
To keep striving for something that you're never going to catch.
Sticking on the hard drugs. That's their version of chasing the dragon.
To chase the pork chop. I must get back to work, especially if you hate your job.
Oh, the rat race. Getting back to chasing the old pork chop.
Go back
Bloody
to
hell.
that dusty trail. Pork chop avenue.
On that lonely road of faith. Break it down, bro.
Echala mucha crema a los tacos. Christ.
Huh?
Let me say it again. Echala mucha crema a los tacos.
I've got a lot of cream in my taco shell. What?
Yeah, putting a lot of cream in your tacos.
Ah. Where's the only one that I can translate the food one? Oh, yeah. Giving yourself taking on too much work.
Hey, big spender.
Exaggerating a story or one's achievements.
Oh, yeah, right. Makes sense.
Ando crudo. I'm raw.
I am
a bit tired, me.
tired, yeah. Not saying from what, but I'm just a bit tired.
I'm hungover.
Oh, okay.
So, Sunday. And finally, Esta de huevo. It's one of the eggs.
It's one of those clever people.
It's one of the eggs. It's much of a muchness. It's irrelevant.
When something is incredible or really cool.
Oh, the opposite of what I've gone for.
Like, whenever we watch a Phoenix match, I guess.
There was a guy at What Culture, really like him still, lovely lad, who used to describe things as if something was really cool, he'd go, "That's the tits, man." Is that like that's one of the eggs?
It's the tits. Yes. It's one of the tits. All right. There are others. Well, gracias to Michelle and all the lovely people from the area who are probably never going to listen to the podcast again. Yes, this segment persists despite everybody saying it shouldn't. And who can blame them? Please, please, please send in your colloquialisms. If you really want to hear me butcher your beautiful language, send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. And if you have any other thoughts as well.
I was going to say, do people actually say it should be cancelled? Because this week's mailbag was quite literally 75% of the world stuff, yeah.
Because we don't hear, well, I don't hear on Twitter or whatever, from people who have had theirs done. So I just assume that instead of going, "Oh, thank you, Maffew, that was beautiful," they just never listen again.
Oh, no, it's always...
Or they cut that bit out and show these mates, "Look at these gringos."
Can I make a mailbag request? Can people?
You're making a request in mailbag. Okay,
to the listeners. Can you please send in maybe something quirky or strange about where you're from, and then we can discuss it on the pod.
Yeah, who's your George Reynolds?
Yeah, what weird things have happened in your area? What's like a crazy thing that happened in your town? What's a rumor that went round? Yeah.
Yeah. Te Aragon Commando, Hangus the monkey, that type of thing.
Because we can't keep doing these forever, as great as it is. Like, we just can't.
Yeah, great. Something about your language, your expressions, and what your town's famous for. Oh. That'd be great, actually. So now we can picture them and go, can't remember the language, but I remember that's where that thing happened.
Yeah. Well, it's basically going to be just a travel show, but we'll just have to imagine it instead.
I like this segment, me. I learn something new every week.
Well, we can keep it if you want. I mean, I'm sure people will still send them in. Send in what you want.
It's bad though, but the only bits I remember are, was it the Alabama stuff?
Oh, it's
Southern.
There we go, yeah.
The colloquialism. Yeah,
the colloquialism one where it was Southern America, and it was... You know, I've already forgotten them. Shows I've completely contradicted myself there, but it was one of the ones that I'll be there regardless, even if it's raining. That wasn't it at all. It's time for me to stop talking.
Lord willing, and the sun don't shine.
Lord willing, the rain don't shine.
The rain don't fall or something. Yeah, Lord willing, and the whatever. Yeah. It was
the rain don't shine. Did I just say? It's time to definitely move on now. Dankeschön, gracias, cheers, pet. Reese's Pieces. As we said previously, if you're paying attention, and good for you if you were watching the entire bloody podcast, or just skip to the end. Skip to the end, just make a quick speed run into the podcast, just not listen to them at all. But we mentioned that Benjamin Cox had done a Cultaholic podcast playlist. And it's almost every song or artist nominated or inducted into the Hall of Fame on Cultaholic's Weekly Wrestling Podcast. And it says available every Friday on YouTube and Spotify. Oh, thank you, pal. So it's working this in. So for Reese's Pieces, we're going to do them 3 at a time. We have to go around and pick which one we prefer.
No, we can't do them 3 at a time. Because there's 37 and that's not a multiple of 3. So we can do them 2 at a time and then throw in an extra one at some point.
Okay. When we get to the final one, we'll make up one.
Or we can just
do 3 at the end.
Make just out of 3 at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to 34. Oh, hang on. We'll sort it out. Just do 2s and then we'll see what happens at the end.
Okay, 2s it is.
2 2s now.
Cheers. The way it goes, fastest thought first. So Ross obviously going first because he's running on diesel power.
Sorry, when you say 2 2s there, Owen doesn't know who Lethal Bizzle is.
Get out.
I know.
Lethal Bizzle is known in the Wirral. I'm not having that.
He's Owen's not from the Wirral, he's from Liverpool.
Is he not? I thought he was from the Wirral.
No, Jack Atkins, the writer from
I've got me wolves mixed up there.
Owen's not a wool, Owen's a real Scouser.
They all look the same, don't they, Ross?
He doesn't know who... they've got afros and say calm down.
Too busy buying houses, etc. All these other 90s stereotypes.
But yeah, he doesn't know who Lethal Bizzle is, which I was disgusted by.
What does he listen to? Do you know?
What's
he play when he's having a shower?
At the minute, he's listening to a bit of synthwave.
Oh, okay.
But he also recently got into the Beatles. I was like, what? You're from Liverpool. But then he is 12 years old, so come on.
Have you heard of the Beatles? Anyway, sorry. My Way by Limp Bizkit, or Not Enough for Me, Michelle McCool's theme by Jim Johnston.
My Way.
Yeah. Why was Not Enough for Me brought up? I can't remember.
It sounds like a Ross nomination.
You're
no
not
idea.
Enough for me.
No,
that's definitely you.
It's a big song though.
That was Ross who did it. Ross nominated.
My Way is a song that happens at Rise, usually around WrestleMania period, because DJ Ash loves it. But we'll put it on, and everybody, including myself, would be like, "Oh, let's do the promo, the music video package. You try and get someone. It's like, you be The Rock, I'll be Austin." And it's just standing off. We've got whatever. Just one. Anyway, I can't do this this year, can I?
No. 21st of June.
Should we try and do something where we each do a bit and we just send it to the editor?
No, I've got loads of work on for the next month.
Say Ross says this isn't about Deborah. It cuts to me going, no, you put Deborah at home, and I'll just go off screen.
That might be a series in that, just does parried and famous wrestling things.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Jack, I need to beat you. You just don't understand. I just need to beat you.
Just lay off, all right? I'm trying
Me, you, Darlow Stadium. 2,000 fans, maybe. Anyway, Wild and Young by American Bang. Oh my God, no. Or Thorn in Your Eye.
Thorn in your eye all day long.
Wild and Young by American Bang.
I hated Wild and Young by American Bang. I've been reviewing the old bloody episodes of NXT, like the proper original NXT, and this song comes on all the time.
It's a great song.
That's the one song they had, and then they sodded off because they realised what they'd done to music.
No, you're wrong. No.
No longer a thing.
No, it's a great song. It's so optimistic. You see Daniel Bryan there, young Daniel Bryan, ready to go. And we have just been.
But the song isn't wild or young. It sounds like old people singing about being old.
It's like when Ed Sheeran sings about drinking bottles of whiskey, neating castles. You never did that, did you, Ed Sheeran? Tosser. He's not a tosser. He's a lovely man, a very talented one of that. But you never drank in castles, did you?
Yeah.
I
am hanging out my ass. You know,
I'm voting for Wild and Young.
Oh, well, that'd be... Yeah. Anyway, I'm going with Thorn in Your Eye because that's a song you can sing at Rise and no one knows you don't know the lyrics. And it up to the top, and the tone of beat, and I grow my eye to the tone of beat. Walk, hey. Oh, so good.
What the electrician must be thinking here.
Oh, is he in the room?
He's just there doing
Get him on!
Get him on!
Get him on!
What does he think of American Bang?
Distance, lads. Distance. Too
Oh,
much.
yeah, of course. That's very
Can you turn the camera around?
I mean, he's in the studio, so you can't actually see him.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Is he recording? The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. Or Three Lions by Baddiel Skin.
Oh, Three Lions.
Three Lions.
On.
Near chance. So all you need to say is that and say the name of the song, and I've already got it playing in my head. So, Welcome to the Isle of Wight. He's on Spotify.
Derek Sandy.
Or Like a Prayer by Madonna.
It's like a prayer, isn't it?
Like a Prayer's a big tune, yeah.
Especially in Glasgow.
Especially the Grado version. I quite enjoyed the Grado version. The little tweak they did.
The Gradoberg thing. It's very like the absolute pinnacle of ICW.
Yes.
Life is...
It's the way... Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Be Faithful by Fat Man Scoop and the Crooklyn Clan. Or My Sacrifice by Creed.
By the way...
I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah, there's a lad on Twitter
Take the floor, Maffew.
who
No!
Ross said, don't worry, he'll sing... Let me scroll down my Twitter feed.
He's
it's all
missing
pictures
the
of
podcast.
Loki.
He's missing the podcast this week or something?
No, I was going to do him a video and just DM him it. But yeah, I can't find him wasting time on the podcast. I'll DM you it. And then you can respond by blocking me. So I've already sung my bloody... but yeah, it is, of course, My Sacrifice by Creed. Which one of those songs that started off where I didn't really think much of it and then got overplayed and became a joke. Like, they played it for everybody. I remember when WrestleCrap did their parody of it. Because it was so frequent on Raw that... They did one with like Kamala Bull and a strike on Raw, slow motion, stuff like that. It was amazing. And but now it's come full circle. And if this ever came on, I'd be like, yeah, hello, my friend, we meet again. Oh.
It sounds like a Team America song. It's so
it really does.
It's so like American. Yeah.
When I Come Around, Green Day.
Oh, okay.
Or Island in the Sun by Weezer.
Whoa, what a clash.
Oh.
It's so 90s.
First one for me.
Yeah, it's the first one for me as well, but I respect Weezer. Great band at the time.
I'll say When I Come Around because as a Green Day to a certain point were fun, they're good to listen to, and then just round about American Idiot or International Super Hits, I stopped getting them.
Maffew!
Sorry.
The slander is outrageous.
Sorry.
I used to resent Metro Radio in about 2004 when every third song was Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful song, so...
Oh, not when it's played every third song, though, on Metro Radio. Tony Horn in the morning.
No.
How am I, Tony? What you doing with your life, son?
I do agree with Maffew that early Green Day, when they were like more punk and less like big rock opera, was better. But you can't slag off International Super Hits, Maffew. That was the greatest hits. A basket case on it?
That's what I'll put a line.
Oh, that was the
career
end
and
of...
go after that.
That was Rock Austin WrestleMania 17.
Just one.
Yeah.
Best of. Yeah. Teenage Life. The radio edit. By Daz Sampson. Oh, good God. What You Looking At by Uncle Cracker.
What you looking at, innit?
No, it's Daz Sampson for me, unfortunately.
Yo, you're dealing with the X Factor. I got everything I ever wanted.
That's what that song's called?
Yeah.
I think what you look at, it might have been the second, because I think it was me who put it in the second X Factor theme that they used at WrestleMania 17. That was a bit like more heavier and less words and less Uncle Cracker.
No, I'll go for Daz still.
Wait, WrestleMania 17?
When
X Factor?
on the pre-show, weren't
Maybe.
they?
Oh, right.
Oh, they're on a kickoff with Charlie, that's right.
Oh, bless them.
What you looking at? Everyone goes, not you. Just Like a Pill by Pink. Oh,
tune.
don't remember that. Come on. Oh, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
Oh, that is a clash of the Titans there. I'll go Just Like a Pill, me.
I'll go Just Like a Pill as well, but it's a very close one.
Yeah, sorry, Avril. Go Just Like a Pill. Even though I am rather entertained by the conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne died and she's been replaced by Brian Lee, the fake Avril Lavigne.
And then she'll come back and they'll both...
They'll merge, become Super Avril.
Why have you had to go make things so complicated, Matthew?
Oh, you... The Crystal Maze theme.
I'm with you, Maffew.
Thank you, Ross. Unless that's a Avril Lavigne song.
It is, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Hey,
Yeah.
the note she hits 3/4 of the way through that song is spine-tingling.
Hey, you
Spine-tingling.
two. Stop it.
No.
Move on, please. The Crystal Maze theme. Oh, What's My Age Again by Blink-182.
How's the Crystal Maze theme going?
No, that's the X-Men.
That's X-Men theme. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun.
dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Not playing a significant part of my life as Crystal Maze, so I'll go with the latter.
That was like the intros round on Nevermind the Buzzcocks, that.
Yeah.
But with a Zoom lag, it's made it a bit difficult.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't. Sounded good to us.
I'll go for What's My Age Again. One of the many songs covered by American Rachel, the best band in rural Lincolnshire, Badgerfest. Badgerfest coming back, lads.
You could stop referencing all this local stuff no one cares about, Jack.
It's my band. How dare you? No, Blink. What's My Age Again?
Crystal Maze theme. Love it. Love the Crystal Maze. Love the original. Still haven't seen any of the new stuff, though. Have you seen any of that?
No, with Richard Ayoade?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen it.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Or Get Got by Death Grips.
Oh, that would have been me.
Oh, that was my
song.
attempt at being funny, wasn't it? Yeah, because I want to see the BTS film with my mates. So I said it was a great film, so that's why I'm nominating Death Grips this week.
I mean,
Wow, not a dry eye in the house after that one, Matthew.
I like the song Get Got. I might have nominated it.
Yeah.
the correct answer is Seal, though. The greatest key change in the history of music.
I'm going to go for Death Grips because I feel like Seal was nominated to spite me for that time when I slagged off Kiss from a Rose. So I think I got nominated the next week.
Is that why?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Get
Why did you...
Got.
Whoa. Grind the show to a halt. Why did you slag off that?
Because I was drunk in Rise and I had Twitter open on my phone. A bad combination at the best of times.
Oh, remember,
and
yeah.
I tweeted like, everyone's going mad for Kiss from a Rose and I just don't, I'm not drunk enough. I just don't like it unless I'm hammered. And everyone was angry at me. And rightly so, a lot of people might say, but I just don't like it as a song. But Death Grips, I have a story about Get Got. At What Culture, we had a shared sort of jukebox system where we could all cue a song type of thing, right, to come on in the office. And I once put on Death Grips, and one of the bosses of What Culture put a message in the group chat saying, "This is the worst song in the history of music being played in this office." And I was like, bloody hell.
And I used to put Lolly on all the time.
He was put on Viva La Radio.
Another
Tune,
great
though.
key change in the history
Good
of
song.
music there from Lolly.
Yeah. So I'll go for Get Got, but I also like, I've seen footage, I stay night.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that you versus Seal. But the annoying thing is, if Adam Pacitti, our boss and lord, had gone, you know what? I just don't like Kiss from a Rose. You know everybody would be going, yeah, you're right, screw him.
It's not actually that good, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
I've always hated Batman Forever.
I think some people would still kick off with him, to be fair.
I
They
would.
should.
I think it's a fantastic song. Couldn't give a toss what Adam likes.
Exactly. Baby! Get out of my dreams. Get out of my...
Dude,
Oh, God.
who's that lady?
Oh, New York State of Mind. Oh.
These are two of mine, I think.
First one all day long, isn't it?
As in Nas's New York State of Mind.
Yes.
Not Empire State of Mind, yeah. I've got to go for Billy. It's more feel good, but New York State of Mind's banger.
I'm not that big of a fan of Get Out of My Dreams song to say Nas.
Yeah, Nasty Nas. Nasty Nas. It's
It's a
the
good way to
song
nominate that, isn't it?
the song that gave birth to the phrase, or popularised, I never sleep, because sleep is the cousin of death. Oh,
It's right.
maybe we should have gone for that one.
And I didn't realise that it's actually a thing in myth until I played Hades. And Hypnosis, related to death. I thought it was something he came up with. I'm like, oh, it's myth. Right, okay.
But he still used it in a brilliant way.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. So I agree with him.
We
Anyway,
can all relate to Nas's
we
upbringing.
can relate to
so-
sleep being death. Ugh.
We can all relate to being brought up in Queens.
One more sleep closer to death, if we're lucky. Oh Santa by Mariah Carey or Stacey's Mom, Fountains of Wayne.
Stacey's mom all day long.
Good
Stacey's mom.
God.
Yeah,
Oh
Stacey.
Santa isn't the good... This is the second one, isn't it? She's tried to do 2 Christmas songs, didn't she?
I
How
nominated
greedy is that?
I nominated for a joke because I was watching Pixie Lott's Christmas Countdown,
I remember.
and she got number 1 and went, "It's that Mariah Carey classic, Oh Santa," and I was like, "That's got to be a rib from Pixie Lott there."
Yeah. Stacey's Mom, because she's got it going on. I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
Ooh.
No. I'm Dill Dandon.
I'm too dead.
Or September, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh my
Come on.
me. It's the second one.
September.
Yeah.
There's only one universal truth around the world, despite the differences, colloquialisms, languages, and differences, and that is Earth, Wind, and Fire are awesome. So, no matter how old you are,
need to, if you haven't already, search out the kids' MGMT with September put together.
Masha.
Oh, music Nirvana.
No, they did like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Jack, if you had tweeted out, I think Earth, Wind, and Fire are crap or whatever, everyone would have stopped what you were doing. DJs went, whoop.
I wouldn't dare. Yeah, no.
Hey, bouncers, yeah, there's a guy here, he's got a rock hat on, and yeah, he's wearing a
It's
Cultaholic
not
shirt.
Rock Hat. Maffew.
And they went, oh, Jack, yeah, we know him.
It's the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, is it not actually The Rock?
No, you've said it before.
Can you
and
go
I've
close to the
always let
camera?
it go.
Yeah, you're right. Barcelona by Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
Joe
When the hell's that
Taxi.
going?
I don't think I was there when that went in.
Me neither.
Barcelona.
As in, yeah.
Yeah.
Strange.
He just left without saying bye.
The electrician.
Yeah.
He's a big Death Grips fan. So yeah, Barcelona or Joe Taxi by Vanessa Paradis.
Barcelona, because I've never heard the other one.
Joe Taxi.
What was Joe Taxi in?
Because my girlfriend tried to annoy me with it because she likes it, but then I liked it so much that I now annoy her whenever I put it on. She's now sick of it. I have outlasted her in the war of attrition that is Joe Taxi.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Barcelona, because that was on the 3-disc Queen best of, I think. That I had as a kid. Anyway, Piano Man by Billy Joel
Oh, yes.
or Flowers in the Window by Travis.
This is a Pachiti one.
First one, isn't it?
Yes, Piano Man, better song.
Yeah, Piano Man, this is by Pachiti. Fill Me In by Craig David. Or It's My Life by Bon Jovi.
It's My Life by Bon Jovi all day long.
When a few years ago I'd have gone for It's My Life, but nowadays I've heard it too many times, I think, because I lived with a lad who was his ringtone. Very intense ringtone. So if you got to call it, it'd just be like, it's... Did you ever meet James Ross, who I used to live with?
Don't think so, no.
He was an odd fella, but lovely guy. But I'll go for Craig David.
I'll pick Craig David because It's My Life by Bon Jovi, I get annoyed when it comes on the club because it means, oh, that's the one Bon Jovi. We're not going to get Living on a Prayer, which is way better.
No, I would say it's My Life's his best song.
No.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
I like.
It's a very basic song. It's like, dun,
it's
dun,
not-
riff. There's nothing.
Another great key change as well in the history of music.
Living on a Prayer as well.
I was going to say, like, all of Bon Jovi's
It's My Life does it for me.
Well, I like Wanted Dead or Alive. That's another big one.
Oh, okay, yeah. There we go.
Wanted.
On a steel horse I ride.
So good. It's almost like My Sacrifice levels of like.
And if you've got proper mates, like one of you go wanted, and then you like
Yeah. Bad Medicine. Oh, sorry, I'll stop.
I was going to say the next one is if you don't like us singing along. Sorry, Tarzan Boy by Baltimora, or One Night by LeBrock.
Oh,
Tarzan Boy.
Tarzan Boy.
Whoa, Tarzan Boy.
Yep, correct.
That's how it goes.
I thought they need to say it. I thought like, I'll be like Taz, and it's like, no, you won't be like Taz. You're too tall. Mr. Blue Sky by ELO. Oh, Club Can't Handle Me Right Now. Oh, that's your song from a few weeks ago, Jack. Versus my song from a few weeks ago. Go on, Ross. It's like Sophie's Choice.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky is a better song.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Therefore, that means Maffew was more popular.
That's
Yes.
right. You heard it here first.
That's how it works.
One More Time by Daft Punk. Oh, another one I have to make up because I bungled it because
Was
37.
this the last one?
Still, if that was a triple threat, I would go for Mr. Blue Sky.
Don't You Forget About Keith by the Ross and Tom band.
The other one.
Yeah, I'm going for One More Time by.
One more
Daft Punk.
So much for that. Yeah, one more time. Well, they're dead. You got to say that. I respect.
No, it was a good effort from Tom and Ross on Don't
really
You Forget
was.
About Keith, but it seems to have proven unsuccessful.
Yeah, it's you've Zack Rydered him
I don't think it's their fault.
all the way to catering.
Oh,
Got him too popular off the back of that song.
That's right.
it did get played at NXT, which I still find weird.
Yeah.
Well, me and Tom were on the Tron.
I thought they just piped it in.
No, it was the video of me and Tom sat there doing reactions was on the Tron inside Full
That is
Sail.
amazing.
No.
I think it was Mr. Scodez who sent us the clip. Amazing.
That's quality.
Nobody joined
right,
in.
isn't
Like,
That's got to be a rib on Keith, hasn't it?
Yeah, all it did was bury Keith and have Disco Inferno go, oh, I don't like those What Culture guys because they're cheesy.
yeah, we killed the business apparently according to Disco Inferno by having
What
a
Culture
having a
guys?
life. Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean, because it's, the Disco Inferno.
the Disco Inferno gets it wrong.
Oh, I got you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Oh,
Thanks, mate.
what a great segment to have when there's electrician in the background.
I know it's probably saved a lot of me. I would have sang along to a few of those if I didn't die of shame. The electrician next door.
See, it's one of those things where someone comes in, you're like, all right, how you doing? Yeah, cool.
I feel a bit,
As soon as they leave, yeah, that's right.
trying to present a podcast here. And,
Lads, I'm desperate for a wee.
I was going to say, I'm glad that you've told me that because that's the end of the Reese's Pieces for this thing. Thank you very much, Benjamin Cox. If you have any to send, you can, by God, by going to mailbag@cultaholic.com as Jack goes for a piss.
It's Cultaholics.
What a lovely podcast. And it's just still a little bit more to go with the big Paul White. Can't do the Big Show thing now. Come on. The Paul White question.
Paul.
It's the Paul. It's an appalling question this week.
It is.
What is going to be the best thing about Fastlane this Sunday? In brackets, oh my God, is Fastlane this Sunday? Are you joking? Let me check. Oh, he's right. Fastlane is this Sunday.
Has one of you got the card ready, or should I?
I certainly do because I'm prepared.
Sorry, absolutely.
The tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team title. That makes sense, doesn't it? Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair with Reginald.
No, it's not gonna. That's not gonna be the best match of the night. Not because I don't respect the talents of the women involved, but because Reginald's gonna dominate.
Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in an intergender match. She'll be catch as catch can all the way there. Big E versus Apollo Crews. The singles match where Apollo Crews will probably win the IC title. I mean, will make sense. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus Currently says singles match here, but I'm pretty sure they wanted a last man standing match on Raw.
Yeah, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
this Wikipedia?
You know it's bad if no one's updating the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Oof. And Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Singles match for the Universal title. The winner of the match between Edge and Jey Uso, which will be happening tonight, will be the special guest enforcer.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we can get with the women's title tag team thing. Bliss, Randy. Oh, I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff to talk about there.
I'd
And
love it.
obviously
I'd
there's a
love if they
pictures
just.
video.
I'd love if they just wrestled a straight match.
Would be funny, like.
It'd be great.
But that leaves the other three. Ross, you're the professional. What are you looking forward to?
The professional what, Maffew?
The professional.
Thank you. Much appreciated. I'll go for Drew versus Bryan. Simply because I don't know how much further Drew McIntyre and Sheamus could take it after the
Sorry,
couple matches.
to interrupt. You said Drew versus Bryan.
Roman versus Bryan.
Sheamus.
Yeah. So you go for Roman versus Bryan.
My official answer is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan.
There you go.
Because I do not know how much further Drew McIntyre and Sheamus can take their meat slapping after all of the meat slapping they've done on Monday Night Raw. But who knows?
Yeah.
If two lads could slap meat harder, it's those two lads. So I'll shut up now.
They've slapped a lot of meat though so far.
Yeah.
I think it's a.
Are
I think
there
it's
any
a
other
good
expressions we could use? Oh, that meat they've slapped, lads.
collided cartilage. I think that's a good answer because I was mine was slightly different, but I was thinking along the same lines. Didn't we recently see a last man standing match? Was it Owens and Roman? Maybe was that a while ago?
They did every stipulation, so
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, they did the Rumble with the handcuff
Yes,
spot.
they did. And I just feel like I'm not in the mood. You've got to be kind of in the mood for a last man standing match, I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm not really in the mood for it, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because Drew and Sheamus, I'm sure will have a good match. But I think also that my answer is Roman and Bryan. Especially...
It's the busiest episode of
I'll see if
Cultaholic.
Owens...
He's too busy listening to Abbey Lane.
UPS. There's a UPS van outside.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, it's all right. Just giving you an update.
He said, "Do you deliver?" And they go, "No, we do steak,
We do lamb, chicken and fish. Yeah. Hey. Oh God. What's black and white and eats like a horse?
Dunno.
Zebra. Okay.
Yes. So you're right. Last man standing matches should be saved for the big matches, rather than having these come out and simply chasing the pork chop.
Oh yes, very
Happy
good.
I am with that.
Very
okay,
good.
Don't get about Fastlane now. Get that out of the way. Yeah, it should be good, but it's almost there's more hype for McIntyre versus Sheamus than there is Lashley versus Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because we all predicted Lashley versus Drew anyway.
I think we did. This had a really weird, crap way of going about getting it hyped up and excited for WrestleMania. Instead of shooting their load at Elimination Chamber, doing all the storylines in the next week on Raw.
That is true.
But what if Sheamus beats Drew here and you do the Owen Hart, Bret Hart thing at WrestleMania 10? Going, hang on, I beat you. He goes, yeah, it doesn't matter, but the match is already booked for Mania, so I'm still taking on. That's what we have for the few weeks building up to Mania.
I'm just banking on Drew McIntyre getting a definitive win, which is a shame for Sheamus, but I can see them making the other one a triple threat rather than the WWE title.
I'm gonna run for 2 seconds to see if that parcel was for me. By the way, sorry,
No worries, mate.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh my God, we could do an unboxing on the channel.
Oh,
Give us a haul, Jack.
oh.
I've been looking at a lot of YouTube trends recently, Maffew, so we can try and mix them and do them with a wrestling spin on the channel.
Great.
Yeah. I did my assumptions video the other day where I answered the most... What was it? Well, Adam put the title as biggest most, first of all.
Biggest most?
Or most biggest or something like that. It's the biggest assumptions that people have about Cultaholic. Oh, it went down well.
Okay.
Disappointing hit count, but, it went down well.
It wasn't even for our flat, it was for upstairs.
Oh. Have you got the box?
No.
Open it.
Open that post.
Illegally, on camera.
Exactly. No one's watching.
I watched Ross's assumptions video and really enjoyed it, but I skipped a little bit ahead and caught the end of him saying, yeah, we don't really argue, but me and Jack did once in Las Vegas. And I was like, Well, you and Sam argued in Vegas as well. And then I rewound a few seconds and he went, me and Sam argued in Vegas and me and Jack argued in Vegas. I was like, oh, then totally fair enough. I felt like such a tit because I was like, why is he saying that about me? And then
Maffew was there when we argued, wasn't he?
I caught
the aftermath of it.
Me and Matthew argued in Vegas.
Did we and you argue? I felt like, no, you came.
It's
what
the
was
only
happening
time.
was
It's
you
the
came
only
in.
time
Sorry.
you've ever been nasty to me. So what happened was, I'd already argued with Ross. Ross had already argued with Sam. It was all kicking off. This is not going to answer the big question this week. And then I came down to get away from them. I was like, right, and I ordered some food. Came down to the hotel lobby. You were also there, having also ordered food, but you'd been waiting for like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, it cancelled.
And mine
it cancelled
got
10 minutes on. It took an hour and a half to notify me. So I was hangry. By the way. Just
mine took like 20 minutes and like was there, which didn't improve Matthew's mood.
Yeah, not a good idea, but go on.
And then I went to him, by the way, this was a bad time to say it as well. I went, by the way, are you still good to meet up at 8 a.m. to do that wedding between Ross and Sam? And you went, and you just were like...
No one had asked us. I'm starving.
No one had asked Matthew if he was good to do it. And then I was like, oh no. And he didn't just shoot the messenger, he decapitated me. I was like, oh my God.
I hope I said something like, look, I don't mind doing it, but can you give me a bit more advance? Because what time is it then? Like 11 p.m?
It was like late at night, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, no, tomorrow morning. I'm like...
You good for 7:30, mate? Bright and early? Come on.
What?
While eating my food that's already been delivered.
Yeah. I'm there wasting away. Emancipated. That's the one word. Emaciated. But yeah, but then you were like, oh, I'm loving this trip. It's my favourite trip I've ever done. I'm surprised you brought that up on that little video, because I thought if we were going to do that, like as some sort of like the anniversary of going to Starcast, and we're going through it in full detail about the lovely drama.
We still can, because that little argument between me and Jack and me and Sam, that was a mere little slice of the entire trip.
I was going to say, it would be good to talk about that.
No, let's not.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that trip so much, me.
No, I didn't either.
People enjoyed doing it.
And I want to say as well, I don't think any one of us was the driving force behind the arguments. I just feel like we were all... Tempers were frayed and knackered. And
right.
Yeah.
We all, none of us had hairs in our tongue.
I felt like such a spoiled brat when I came back as well, because I was like, I've just been in Las Vegas for my job and watched wrestling. Yeah. Like it's really cool, and I just thought I tried to change my outlook after that about going to shows and stuff, because like it just was a stupid situation to get annoyed about, but we all did. We were very busy, of course, as well, but I wish that I could go back and enjoy it a little bit more. I did go to a rubbish, weird indie wrestling show and get very drunk one night, though. That was very fun. That was a lot of fun.
Was that the one with the D's Nuts guy?
Yes, that was the one with the D's Nuts guy. Joey Janela opened the show with a promo and said, "Don't tell Tony Khan I'm here, lol." And then he was like, "Look who I've got in the crowd. He's a special guest." And it was the actual D's Nuts guy from the meme. And he went, "Hey there, D's Nuts guy. Can you think of a possible expression to sum up right now?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, just, happy to be here and stuff." And Janela's like, "If there were 2 words that you could say," and the guy's just not getting it. And he's like, "If there was some kind of catchphrase that you were famous for," and then he does it, he says D's nuts. And then as he turns to get out of the ring, Janela pretends to jump him and he's not expecting it. So he goes like a big worked club to the back and the guy like craps himself.
The professional.
Got him.
Sure.
Yeah, got it. But they hugged it out and stuff. But Janela was like, he totally like crapped himself. This was when the show started at like 1 a.m. It ran like 2 hours late. It was insane. I got so drunk.
I'm gutted that I was literally immobile. So
yeah, you were getting high with that. So Vegas
it was a bit
wasn't
weekend
that
at
bad.
Bernie's. I probably could have paid someone actually. Some Cultaholic fan just propped us up, put the shades on us. Go, he's all right. I'm like,
oh god. The upside to that trip actually was that we met a lot of really cool. Everyone who came up to us was really sound. Actually,
well, what was one thing we got?
After our podcast and everything, he's going to get the bloody puppet, isn't he? Yeah.
That's right. That one fan that bought.
Yes, there he is. Yes,
this little lad, this little piece of passive aggressive. The trip where we all got annoyed with each other was the first time. Hey, look, a real puppet. We can take the piss off you even more. Are you all right for 8 a.m. start, Maffew?
But I remember
it's 2 a.m. now. Oh,
but I remember after the podcast, the live podcast, everyone who talked to us was really sound and stuff. So please, if you came up to us in Vegas, don't think that we were having a crap time then. It was more like when we were busy and stuff behind the scenes.
Well, you all held it in quite well because I wasn't aware.
No, it did.
Because
No,
one last thing, we'll move on.
By this point, we'd made up. The argument happened before that.
It was straight after Double or Nothing was the crescendo of the argument.
Again, just as a reminder,
Sam's, was that the day after?
The morning after, yeah.
Morning after, right.
Okay,
So it's all
we
in a
need to
short
do a
window.
retrospective. But again, one little thing, again, I, being the bloody idiot that he is, managed to get a room which had 2 beds separate to each other, a lovely space, all room. What? You all got a big bedroom, right? The 3 of you.
No, we didn't have a big bedroom.
The room was a fair size, but in terms of bed space, maybe not.
There was the incorrect number of beds, Conrad. And now Maffew did say later on, he was like, "Oh crap, I should have." But in fairness, I never brought it up, and I didn't have any I wasn't angry about not like that. That was absolutely fine. Don't worry.
How great would it be though if we're able to tell these stories and it was like, yeah, I lay next to Maffew after he was off his head. He kept on murmuring all night. It was it was an experience. Anyway, Fastlane.
There you go, viewers who saw that video. I didn't lie. It wasn't for dramatic effect. It was all real.
There was a lad called Adam from Portland, or not from Portland, but from somewhere in Oregon, who he was staying at the same hotel as us, and he was often just hanging around. We'd often see him by the fire pit, having a drink or whatever. And he was just a crazy guy, but so lovely. When we walked in, he took a picture of us, but he didn't take a selfie. He just went, "Can I just take a picture of you guys?" And we were like, "Yeah, get in." He was like, No, just fine. And we were like, sound. And then for the rest of the week, he was the most chilled out. I was like, "Do you want me to give you a shout out on Twitter or something?" And he was like, "Man, I'm not on any of that nonsense." I was like, "Yes, you legend." If he's watching this, I hope he is, man. Adam, I think he was called from Oregon. Brilliant.
That's a good lad.
He was great.
Also giving out the Flintstones A to Z vitamins to the crowd. Thing. Are these pills? Might be like, no, I'm keeping them for myself. I wouldn't hand these out to you. No, it's just to keep scurvy away from all these dirty wrestling fans.
And the wedding was funny. You know what? The trip wasn't as bad as I think we've remembered it. To be fair, there's actually a lot of upsides. We saw where Tupac got shot. Yeah,
saw the newspaper bit. Again, you know what? Sorry, this is all very good, but for another video, perhaps.
Right. Sorry.
Fastlane.
Apollo Crews and Big E will also be a very good match.
Yes, good show.
Yeah, this is crunch time for Apollo Crews, I think. Because as I said beforehand, I'm all right with him doing his character. I know some people are I'm like, no, I don't want to be him. As long as he's not, I am the evil foreigner, circa 1953 or whatever. So if he's, I'm proud, I'm awesome, I'm still going to do all the cool athletic stuff that I've been doing for years, the backflip, somersault, whatever. Awesome. Can't wait for it.
I think that's going to be good as well. Yeah. I think that if they're clever about it, Alexa versus... I'm looking forward to it in a weird sort of way, Alexa versus Randy, just to see what happens. But it's not going to be... It's not going to be It's not going to be a match. It's not going to be a match, is it, really?
Yeah, the memes and videos are going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Take the piss out of it.
Oh, our notifications are going to... Yours especially.
Cha-ching. And then Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
What I hope for that match is that it's not a Roman Reigns Jey Uso match where it's a long drawn out drama play. I hope it's like Roman and Daniel Bryan having a great match, because they do, so.
It's a good point. Yeah, that is definitely all the stuff we can talk about this particular period of wrestling. Lots more coming down the pipeline, as you can tell.
My God.
Until all the other stuff starts, Ross, what have you got for us this week, apart from that lovely Assumptions About Cultaholic video?
Yeah, that's on the channel now. It was published last Sunday, I do believe, but I'll be on Twitch this week, and Sunday evening at some point. And I think there might be a tier list video with myself and Andrew going through some AEW finishes to find out which finisher is the best one.
Whew.
Spoilers, it's Cody Rhodes' Sunset Flip. And what about yourself, Jack?
I have got a weekly Twitch thing with Owen, of course, on 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, where we take Cultaholic FC up through the football pyramid. We're still unbeaten. We're top of the league at the minute. And also check out the latest in my new series, the Greatest of series, which is up now on the channel, and it's why are FTR one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Even though they're still modern and active and everything, I think they're one of the greatest ever, and I've explained why. Give it a watch. Maffew, what have you got?
I have got the Twitch on Saturday. We'll be doing Silent Hill for the first time. Ooh, I don't expect. Might switch the lights off and put the curtain around and just have me, a puppet, and myself for company. Yeah, that'll go well.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mentally, yeah.
And on that happy note, just a reminder, you can vote on the Hall of Fame at patreon.com/Botchamania.
What? I nearly got there! Patreon.com/Cultaholic.
I swear that wasn't supposed to be
but, I mean,
stupid.
No,
Sorry.
He's trying to usurp.
Patreon.com/Cultaholic. Mailbag at cultaholic.com.
Maffew, to be fair, if you'd done that 3 weeks in, I'd be suspicious of your intentions. But the fact that it's 3 years in, I'm like,
that's how you know it's the end of the podcast. I'll start flubbing my lines.
Yeah.
So very sorry about that, but it's the end of the podcast. Please put your hands to the camera and then with that lovely expression that we all know and love, which is, of course, adios.
Oh my God.